exclusion. Post-pandemic, technology is no longer supplementary. That's a very, very important point I would like to underscore. It is foundational. And that is what the whole summit is now going to concentrate the whole day. But we also realized a crucial truth. Technology without public intervention deepens inequality. Markets respond to demand, but a democracy must respond to justice. So under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, the Dravidian model government has made a clear and unapologetic choice. We have treated education as future infrastructure, backing this vision with a fiscal commitment of over 55,000 crore, nearly 15% of our annual budget. This includes a massive 46,767 crore for school education and 8,495 crore for higher education, which is the highest feat when compared to any of the state budgets. We have wired 28,000 schools with high-speed internet and transformed thousands of classrooms into smart hubs of innovation, ensuring the silicon ceiling is shattered for the child in the furthest village. As a member of Parliament representing South Chennai constituency, I have 7 panchayats in my constituency, of which most of the panchayat schools are made as smart board classroom available schools. That's very, very, very important. As a member of the Parliament, my MP lads, I have used the maximum to equip those panchayat schools as well as also here in the other schools. But my concentration or onus was mostly the rural areas are provided with the smart board classrooms. A commitment to breaking narrow domestic walls is most visible in our flagship schemes that target the roots of exclusion. Through our Chief Minister's Pudumai Pen scheme, we ensured that our daughters receive a monthly support of 1,000 rupees to pursue higher education if they are studying in a government school and if they've scored good marks in their +2. If they want to go for higher education, the state government sponsors every month 1,000 rupees to encourage and to meet out with their expenses. The same way they have for boys also, which is called as, this is called as Pudumai Pen, that is called as Tamil Pudalvan. And because the Dravidian model is built on the principle of leaving no behind, we launched the Tamil Pudalvan schemes also. By distributing 20 lakh laptops, you must have all watched in this media some 3 or 4 days ago, our Chief Minister, Ulagam Ungal Kayil, the world is now in your hands. With that tagline, he has distributed 20 lakh laptops to almost all the students in a recent ceremony. Through that, we have ensured that access to digital learning platforms and research databases is no longer a privilege of the elite. Our Nan Mudalvan initiative, which is a very, very wonderful step in the field of education, has already empowered over 42 lakh students with structured training in AI, data science, fintech, and electric mobility. We are not just preparing them for jobs. That's very important. We are preparing them to lead global industries with confidence and dignity. Confidence aided by technological devices and dignity given by the platform of giving equal opportunities for all. To see these numbers in human form, I would just like to cite one example of Sujata Kupusamy, the daughter of a daily wage earner from a fishing village near Chennai. Her parents survive on daily wages, and in any other era, her education would have been a fragile, distant dream. But through the Pudumai Pen scholarship, which our government, our Chief Minister has inaugurated, the digital mentorship of Nan Mudalvan, she broke through the barriers of her birth. In 2024, Sujata was selected for a state-supported program and trained in data science at Durham University in the United Kingdom. Imagine the wings which technology as well as the social justice provided by this government has given this little girl to break the barriers and then to reach beyond the horizons. Sujata's journey is not a story of individual luck. It's a story of institutional will. When the state provides the wings, our children will touch the stars. So, States like Tamil Nadu especially, why do we emphasize a lot on education, in health, in women empowerment? The main focus is on all these three areas. Why we are focusing on that? Because only then we can shape up a citizen, a youngster, who can face this world with dignity, with confidence, and not only with these two virtues, but dreams. That's very, very important. To have dreams, to aspire more, to break the barriers, to explore all the unexplored areas, to trod on the paths wherein even angels and devils fear to trod. To have the dreams is a very, very important objective. That is why I say that data and figures are not very important, but are not very, very important when compared to any human story which I cited now. States like ours, Tamil Nadu, we always resist linguistic imposition or ideological homogenization, especially in the field of education, because our state believes social justice and equal importance and opportunity for all is the vital life nerve line on which the government pitches all its schemes and reforms, because it believes not in obedience and conformity, but in critical thinking, because it believes that a classroom must be a window to the world, allowing the students to fly with the wings of technology with the help of tools like AI, but firmly rooted in ethical values, discipline, and a vision coupled with lovely, beautiful dreams. The future of education will undoubtedly be shaped by artificial intelligence and automation, but technology alone does not guarantee progress. That is why we have panelists to just, give the pulse of the human core values, which is the center of all these capsules which are helping you to soar higher. Why we need panelists or educationalists or policymakers? Because we shouldn't miss that sort of a human touch, that sort of a central core of human values. Without the soul of social justice, technology will simply reproduce old inequalities in more sophisticated forms. Tamil Nadu's experience proves that when technology is treated as public infrastructure and governance is guided by equity, transformation becomes possible at scale. By investing in everything from nutrition and gender-based stipends like Tamil Pudalvan to high-end coding and global exposure, this Dravidian model government, which is headed by Chief Minister Thalapathy M.K. Stalin, is not just responding to future, it is authorizing it. We are owning it. We are accountable for that. We are taking responsibility to it. Let's build classrooms where the technology is cutting edge, but the empathy is foundational. ஒரு அருமையான கவிதை இருக்கும். ஒரு வகுப்பறையில் இருக்கிற மாணவர், ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட், அந்த ஆசிரியர் அவருடைய அந்த திறமை, கிரியேட்டிவ் இமேஜினேஷனை கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா கட் பண்ணி ப்ரூன் பண்ணி வெறும் படிப்பை மட்டும் சொல்லி கொடுக்கணும்னு நினைச்சா அந்த மாணவர் பின்வருமாறு கவிதை எழுதுவாராம். வேலிக்கு வெளியே தலையை நீட்டியதால் கிளைகளை வெட்டிய என் தோட்டக்காரனே, மண்ணுக்குள் நழுவும் வேர்களை என்ன செய்வதாக உத்தேசம். If you are just going to prune all the branches which are just you're seeing outside in the name of just growth, what are you going to do with the roots which are just going deep down in the soil, which is my imagination, which is my goal. I think we have to understand that. And as we deliberate today in this enclave, let's remember that the future of education lies not just in speed of processor, but in the reach of the justice it delivers. And that's the Tamil Nadu way. That's the Dravidian model way. That is the Chief Minister's way. And I would like to just wind up my talk with a lovely poem, a Russian poem, which I would roughly translate from Tamil to English. அந்த ரஷ்ய கவிதை இப்படி செல்லும். இந்த கை ஒரு நெம்புகோலை அழுத்தும் பொழுது வலிமை கொள்ளும். இந்த கை ஒரு குழந்தையை அணைக்கும் பொழுது அன்பு கொள்ளும். இந்த கை ஒரு பிச்சைக்காரரை விரட்டும் பொழுது நாணம் கொள்ளும். இந்த கை ஒரு ஆப்பிளை எவ்வளவு அற்புதமாக ஏந்துகின்றது. உள்ளங்கையில் நீர் ஊற்றி பாருங்கள், உலகையே தலைகீழாக பார்க்கலாம். ஆகவே இந்த கைகளை கரைபடியாமல் வைத்திருங்கள். Roughly you can translate, see, this hand is so powerful enough to move even mountains. how softly it hugs a child with immense love, and how it's filled with shame when it chides away a stranger or a beggar. Look at the way how beautifully it holds an apple. Just pour a little bit of water on your palm. You can see the whole reflection of the world in your hand. That's the immense power of these hands. So please keep it without stains. This is the problem of translation, I think. Karaipadiyada karangal means you are not influenced by any other corruptions or whatever it is. Roughly, I can translate it as stain, which is not the equivalent. So that sort of the hands, very few people are blessed with that. The students, the people who impart educations, and people who work towards building up such future, you are blessed with those sorts of wonderful hands. அந்த கரைபடியாத கரங்களுக்கு சொந்தக்காரர்களான உங்களை வாழ்த்துகின்றேன். I wish the summit all the success, and I congratulate and look forward to hearing to the participation of all the panel members. Thank you very much.
What inspiring words from our chief guest. Truly, truly inspiring words. And I think what particularly struck me is her mention of the fact that the government is so committed to prioritizing critical thinking over conformity. A huge round of applause once more. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to move on to our first set of awards for the afternoon. And as I mentioned earlier, these awards celebrate academic leadership, they sort of champion innovation, and they also salute a dedication to shaping future-ready learners. So if you're all ready, it's our honor and pleasure to present the TimesNow.in Academic Excellence Awards 2026. And we have our chief guest amongst us to do the honors. All right. With that, I'm going to announce the category and then invite the winner to receive this incredible honor. Ladies and gentlemen, our first category this afternoon is Top Ranked School National CBSE Curriculum North Zone. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner is Everwin Vidyashram Senior Secondary School, Kolathur. Can we kindly please have the team on stage to receive the highly coveted recognition? Huge congratulations and a special honor to receive it at the hands of the chief guest. All right, we'll move on. We'll move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen. And our next category is Beacon of Academic Excellence and Trusted College in South India. All right, the photographers, if we could move quickly, please. As I mentioned, the category is Beacon of Academic Excellence and Trusted College in South India. And the winner is SRM Madurai College of Engineering and Technology. Huge congratulations to the team. Let's have them on stage, please. That's right. We're celebrating education leaders, academics, and innovators and changemakers who are very much transforming the future of education in the country. Congratulations, sir. SRM Madurai College of Engineering and Technology. A proud moment. And with that, we'll move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen. And that is Top Ranked School National CBSE Curriculum East Zone. And the winner is Anai Violet International School, Ambattur. Can we have the team on stage? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Top Ranked School National CBSE Curriculum East Zone. Congratulations on the honor here at the TimesNow.in Education Summit 2026, South Edition. A photo op to capture the moment, to capture the memory. And with that, we move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen. And the next category is Top Ranked School National CBSE Curriculum South Zone. And the winner in this category is San Academy, Pallikaranai. Can we have the team on stage, please? Top Ranked School National CBSE Curriculum South Zone. These are the innovators that are setting new benchmarks when it comes to education leadership by responding to our changing societal and economic needs on a real-time basis. They're providing equity, opportunity, and access. That's right, the members of Gen Z in the audience there and on stage as well. All right, well, that will move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, which is Top Ranked School National CBSE Curriculum Southeast Zone. And the winner is Hindustan International School, Padur. Can we have them on stage, please? The Hindustan International School team is present. A large contingency with us. We invite you to relish in this moment on stage. It's a special moment of recognition. Do kindly join us in receiving the honor. What a heartening moment with Next Gen India on stage, ladies and gentlemen. They're the future of our country and the cornerstone of nation building. Congratulations. Congratulations to the whole team. Hindustan International School, Padur. Thank you. Thank you. All right, and with that, we'll move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen. And the next category is Outstanding Contribution to Holistic Education. And the winner in this category, Outstanding Contribution to Holistic Education, is Shri Gokulam Public School, Chengalpattu. Let's have the team on stage, please. Congratulations. A special honor here at the Times Now.in Education Summit 2026 South Edition. Outstanding contribution to holistic education. Congratulations once again. Particularly special to be recognized amongst industry peers. With that, we move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, which is Excellence in Career Objective Curriculum. And the winner in this category, Excellence in Career Objective Curriculum, is Excellence in Career Objective Curriculum. The winner is Srimati Devkunwar Nanalal Bhatt Vaishnav College for Women, autonomous, affiliated to the University of Madras, Chennai. Congratulations, ladies, on this incredibly coveted recognition and honor. These are the trailblazers that are transforming education in this country, starting from this very region of South India, ladies and gentlemen. All right, with that, we move on to our next category, which is Excellence in Management and Leadership Education. And the winner in this particular category, Excellence in Management and Leadership Education, is Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, Department of Management Studies. Let's have the team on stage, please, to receive this recognition. That's right, Excellence in Management and Leadership Education. Congratulations to the entire team. And with that, we move on to our next category, which is excellence in chain of schools. And in this category, excellence in chain of schools, I'm just about to unveil the winner. All right, thank you. All right, here at the Times Now in Education Summit 2026 South Edition, in the category Excellence in Chain of Schools, our winner is Urban Group of Schools, Chennai. Let's have the team on stage, please. Congratulations. An incredible honor and a special moment. All right, congratulations once again. We'll move on to our next category now, ladies and gentlemen. Sustainable School of the Year 2025-26, a particularly pivotal category. And the winner in this category is Chetinad Sarvaloka Educational International School, Kelambakam. Let's have the team on stage, please. They are the Sustainable School of the Year 2025-26. Ladies and gentlemen, we very much salute the contributions of these trailblazers on stage, and we very much acknowledge the transformative impact they're having on the education landscape, right here in South India and beyond. All right, so with that, we'll move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, which is Excellence for Future-Ready Arts and Science Education. And in this category, the winner is Hindustan College of Arts and Science, Chennai. Let's have the team on stage, please, to receive the honor. Excellence for Future-Ready Arts and Science Education. All right, with that, we'll move on to our next category. And this one's really special. It's Pioneer in Aviation Education, Tamil Nadu. And the winner in this category, Pioneer in Aviation Education, Tamil Nadu, is Remo International College, Chennai. Let's have the team on stage, please. They're setting new benchmarks in this highly specialized, deeply technical field of aviation education. A huge round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen, for your fellow colleagues. All right, with that, we'll move on to our next category for the afternoon, which is Center of Excellence in Electronics and Communication Technologies. And in this particular category, Center of Excellence in Electronics and Communication Technologies, our winner is Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, Department of ECE. Let's have the team on stage, please. Thank you so much. And congratulations for this incredible honor at the Times Now.in Summit this afternoon. Lovely. Winners here at the Education Summit 2026 South Edition. Congratulations. And with that, we move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, which is Excellence in Industry-Oriented Higher Education. And in this category, Excellence in Industry-Oriented Higher Education, I'm proud to announce the winner is Excellence in Industry-Oriented Higher Education. The award goes to Perry Educational Institutions, Chennai. Let's have the team on stage, please, to receive this honor. Excellence in Industry-Oriented Higher Education. Congratulations once again, our heartiest congratulations. Now we move on to our next category, which is Innovative in Research and Development Excellence. And the award goes to Dwarka Das Govardhan Das Vaishnav College Autonomous, Chennai. Let's have the team on stage, please. Kindly do join us in receiving and accepting this incredible honor as we salute your achievements, your contributions, and your continued commitment to the field. That's right, innovative in research and development excellence. And with that, we move on, ladies and gentlemen, to our next category. And our next category is Center of Excellence in Legal Education. And in this category, Center of Excellence in Legal Education, our winner is Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, Department of Law. Let's have you on stage, please. Got a repeat winner in Dr. MGR and their team this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And our next award is Top Ranked School National CBSE Curriculum Northwest Zone. And the winner is Greenfield Chennai International School, Madharam. Let's have the team on stage, please, ladies and gentlemen. Greenfield Chennai International School. What an honor to emerge as the top ranked school national CBSE curriculum in the Northwest Zone. Right here at the Time in India Education Summit 2026. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ladies. And that marks our first set of awards, but many more coming later in the afternoon. So a lot to look forward to. But at this time, what I'd like to do is, as a token of our appreciation and our way of saying thank you to our chief guest, if I could please now request Kalpana Sharma, who's the lifestyle and education editor with Times Network, to present our chief guest with a small token of appreciation, our memento, our way of saying thank you for being here at the India Education Summit 2026 South Edition. Some very inspiring words from ma'am. We're truly honored and deeply humbled. Thank you, ladies, and thank you, Kalpana. Thank you. Now, this summit is just as much about celebrating excellence as it is about thought leadership. So with that, today we move on to a discussion that reflects one of the most significant shifts in education today. And that is the evolving role of educators. Now, teachers today are no longer just knowledge providers. They are mentors. They're mentors who are shaping thinking. Innovators who are adapting learning models to a changing world. And game changers who are inspiring purpose and possibility beyond the classroom. So this next panel will explore how educators are influencing mindsets, how they're nurturing curiosity, and preparing learners for not just exams, but for life and for leadership in an increasingly global landscape. So I now please invite our esteemed panelists to join us on stage to do justice to the discussion, we have with us, ladies and gentlemen, Jai Prakash Gandhi, career consultant and analyst. Huge round of applause, please. If we could kindly have Sir join us on stage so you can take the second seat right here as we continue to set up. All right. And joining him, Dr. Srimati Kesan, founder and CEO of Space Kids India and mission director of Shakti SAT. Can we please have Dr. Kesan also kindly join us on stage? All right. Vidhi Mistry is also part of the panel, who's the Executive Director of Partner Relations and Growth with the University of Roehampton, London. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for being here. And Sarvanand Periyasamy, Chairman of Peri Educational Institutions, to round out the discussion and offer us a 360-degree perspective. Let's kindly have them on stage as well. All right? We'll settle in for a moment, get our technicals in order, and I'm very much looking forward to this deep dive. And this topic is of deep personal relevance to me, and I'm especially kicked to learn from our highly distinguished panel of industry heavyweights. So with that, I'm going to migrate on over so we can kickstart the discussion. Thank you for bearing with us. Are we ready to start? All right. I think we've got a live demo also in the mix here, basis the props that I see on stage. So I'm very much looking forward to that. It is a complete surprise element. But as I mentioned in my introductory remarks, all right, there are several best practices or assumptions with respect to the Indian education system that it's now become time to challenge. And who's better positioned to challenge those assumptions or revisit those assumptions than the very educators who are transforming its landscape? So it only made sense to do a deep dive and get their views on what needs to be done, how, and by when. All right, so with that, I'm going to do a deep dive and essentially, if I could, Mr. Jai Prakash, start the conversation with you. So I'm perhaps stating the obvious here, but in the state of Tamil Nadu, pursuing engineering or STEM often becomes a default career choice, right? Rather than one that is an informed decision that is influenced by the educator. It seems like more a result of oftentimes societal pressure because it seems like the right thing to do. So how do you expect or how might you like to see educators involved to become more decision-making influencers rather than strictly subject matter experts alone in the eyes of the student?
Very good morning. Thanks, Times Now, for giving this opportunity successfully. In fact, the question goes that, yes, why students are preferred more on engineering side and they go only for specific courses. Really sad. If you look at the last year's admissions, almost 70% of students have taken related to computer science. But when they come out, they will be flooded with computer science, one, because of the influence. The manpower is getting reduced. It doesn't mean that computer science doesn't have opportunity, but the need has to come down. The student doesn't know about the other emerging careers. I always say to the students, even AI doesn't give a right information to us, including Google. Many students feel that. Now, I tell you, when I go to so many schools, when I ask them what are the new courses have been introduced in India, in engineering itself, how many of us know that we have a wonderful course in BTech in law? Nobody knows.
Nobody, sir.
BTech in law. We have BTech in climate change. 70% of global research is happening in global warming. We don't know about it. Still, students think about computer science, ECE, EEE, mechanical. I'm not saying it doesn't have scope. There are emerging. Railway engineering is coming. Strategic engineering is coming. A lot of IM has gone into the undergraduate courses. When I asked, even in city like Chennai, when I go to schools for career guidance, first of all, the teachers never allow, because teachers think that getting marks is the first priority. Getting marks, and if they don't have a right place to go, I don't think the marks what you got for your children doesn't have any worth.
Right.
That's people never realize. Now, I'm not saying you please call me. Please remember, we need to know it. When we go and ask, see, even the top schools, when I ask, how many of them applied for IIM undergraduate program, which has been introduced last year, is fantastic. Hardly one. Imagine Chennai city top school. Imagine when you go to rural side, tier 2, tier 3 cities. Opportunity doesn't. I tell you, if you have a Google here, put new engineering course in India. Can you show me one course what I said?
Probably not, sir.
Definitely not. I can prove it here. No, please remember, see, the very sad part of it, the top corporates in the world decide what we should know, what we should learn. This is the biggest thing. That's why China grows up. China never allows all these corporates to come. Data piracy is the biggest problem in India. Unless we save our thing. Do you think the WhatsApp can go in China or in Korea? No. They don't allow. I'm not against WhatsApp or anything. Why not India create? India couldn't create even one LLM model right now to be really precise about AI tools. We are not doing. We think that AI is thing. No, that is the reason. In short, I can tell you, in India, we teach 19th century curriculum by the wonderful 20th century teachers to the 21st March students. Do you think it's going to work? Never work.
Oh, well, a very relatable example, sir. And thank you for sharing that. And I want to sort of build on some of your observations. And now coming to you, Dr. Kesan. All right? So, Dr. Kesan, your groundbreaking work with Shakti SAT essentially has proved the point that thousands of girls from all sorts of socioeconomic backgrounds can play a critical role when it comes to a global space mission. All right? What does that tell us about the limitations of conventional classroom teaching as we know it? Your thoughts. And I would also love for you to respond to, Dr. Jayaprakash's comments, and if you share the same sentiment, ma'am.
That's a brilliant one. Thank you for that. Good morning, everybody. Congratulations, all the award winners. Lovely to see all women here, at least who represent about 30%. So,
easily, if not more.
Yes. So you know why I started with that remark? Because that is the sad reality. I'm proud and happy that 51% of them go to the master's program. But beyond that, startup culture, industries, all this per se, I think we just have about 19 to 20%, if I have to tell you globally, with regards to deep tech industry that I belong to, the space industry, and 2 to 3% of women in the leadership roles. And this industry, there is a very, very thin difference, thin line between missile and a rocket.
And what is that, ma'am?
So if I see this room is filled with 70% of black jackets, meaning men, and 30% of beautiful women, so I consider them with pink and red jackets. If this is the case, we're going to be having more wars, less empathy. So that is the reason we need more women in this particular industry, because space is the future. Everything is being brought, developed, data shared, everything to do with space industry. So for the Indian independence, 75th Indian independence, I thought without villages, there is no independence. So what do? Bring in the girls from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Build a satellite. Show it to the world that girls are also made for deep economy, not only home economics. So that was a powerful message sent across the globe. Today, the impact is played so much that these children who would have otherwise been married, deep pockets of India I'm talking about, they have moved to closer towns and started pursuing science as their career. They want to do something for the country. They want to contribute for the country. So you need to create that impact. Somebody needs to start. And that was Azadi Sat.
Let's see it.
This is the engineering model of the satellite that went up a ISRO's SSLV rocket. Now, why only India? Because women have challenges everywhere across the globe. And this industry needs more women, kept on ringing. And I said, let's interact with women across the globe. And what I found was the same answer. So that's where Shakti Sat, SAT means satellite. So Shakti Satellite, women power, which can produce peace globally. We are not following any SDGs. Here, I would say, I would vouch for what my fellow panelists and most respected Mr. Gandhi mentioned. We need to create our own rules. India needs to be there on the top. We have beautiful academicians. We have professionals. We have thinkers. Why not we have our own set of rules for our own children? We need to give them jobs, create jobs here in India. I am not proud that my child is going to the United States or United Kingdom to do her or his masters. I want them to do here. I want them to do something for the country. Patriotism doesn't start with singing the national anthem. Patriotism should be imprinted in your soul, and you need to give back to the society. Needs to be taught right from as a kindergarten child. We don't
Huge round of applause, please. It's deeply deserved.
And we don't need to follow any SDGs. I'm openly and proudly saying that, because we can create IDGs, Indian goals. That is Mission Shakti Sat. 12,000 girls, 108 countries, all small countries who feel they cannot have a space office also. Creating that first-time learners straight away, building a spacecraft to the moon. And that's going to happen 2026 August from India.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, I personally have goosebumps when we say we are celebrating changemakers here at the Times Now in India Education Summit. We're not just talking the talk.
Show you this.
We're walking the walk.
Yes, this is it. 108 countries, 12,000 girls, one dream and one spacecraft to the moon. Moon is an icon of peace. Moon is an icon of women, where we say we have challenges just like waxing and waning of the moon. Yet women spread that light, spread smiles, laughter, peace, and happiness. And education can bring all this to them.
All right, huge round of applause. Oh God, this panel is really offering a 360-degree perspective. And with that, I'll switch gears and I'll come to you, Vidya. You're in an interesting role in that the University of Roehampton, London, you manage long-term academic partnerships. All right? So without a shred of bias, ma'am, how well prepared is the Indian graduate today to compete on the global stage? You know, I know it's a broad question. I'm asking you to talk in broad generalities, but only you can do justice to this particular topic.
Thank you so much. First of all, wow, what an energy this morning, now afternoon, that has been set by my fellow panelists. I'm a proud Indian myself, and I've been supporting many universities, not just in London, but in Australia, in India as well. And I've had the privilege of working alongside thousands of Indian students, and of course, students from across the globe. What I personally feel is that Indian students are incredibly talented, and they are academically sound, and they're very hardworking. So there is no gap over there, you know, there's no gap in terms of knowledge or talent or hard work.
So then where do the gaps lie?
I'll come to that. I feel the gap is lack of confidence. And again, the lack of confidence comes because the way the upbringing is. Indian students are dependent on answers. You know, it's ready-made answers that schools and institutions used to give in the past, all bookish knowledge, which I'm not saying is bad, but they were not exposed to real-world challenges. And due to which they personally feel that we're not confident because we are not exposed to those challenges.
Yeah, interesting.
And they're not independent. Now I'll give you a very basic example. I have had students who went to London for the first time, who had not even gotten out of their cities. But when they landed into the city, they had no choice. They can't go back because they've invested 20 to 25 lakhs.
Sure.
They had to figure their lives on their own. So that was the starting point of being independent. Then they went to classrooms. The academic professor in London said, you have to write a 5,000 words SOP. The student was like, what does that mean? How do I do it? I was not taught that. You know, in my school, they used to tell, this is the textbook, this is the paragraph, this is where you will get your answers from. What do I do? Anyways, they tried to figure it out. They managed to provide a 5,000 word SOP and they cleared. But what we fail to understand is that independence element comes in when you force them to think rather than telling them how to think. And you know, the World Economic Forums, Forbes, all of these big people are saying critical thinking is the essential skill now, is going to be the essential skill in the future as well. So knowledge is very good, but knowledge can expire. Agility, being adaptable and being able to think on the spot is what is going to be needed in the future, because a lot of things are evolving. You know, we are now in this world of AI. Tomorrow there will be something else. If you're not adaptable and if you can't think fast, I think we will be really back and we won't be able to grow. And just one more point to what Dr. Kaysen said, that be patriotic. India should have their own rules. India should lead. And that can only come where we are not constantly following the West. Be confident in who you are. Be confident in your accent. And be adaptable. Keep learning. And you will shine, is what I would say.
Well, Vidit, thank you so much for adding that candor and that color to the conversation. And I want to build on some of your observations coming to you now, Mr. Sarvanan. Vidit just talked about confidence. And it's been said time and time again that while Indian students are globally recognized for their technical prowess, when it comes to decision-making or a sense of self-belief or ownership, perhaps there's room for improvement. Perhaps there's a tendency to take the back foot. How do you respond to that, and where do the solutions lie? What more can educators do to bridge that gap?
Oh, thank you for having me here. Good morning, everyone. I hope it's still good morning. Good afternoon, then. Okay, so see, educators, the role is changing continuously. It used to be how to make sure a student gets enrolled.
Right.
How to make sure the student passes the exams and gets a degree or gets a certificate or diploma, walks out. Then it slowly changed to the educators should take responsibility for the student's career in terms of, okay, does he or she gets a first job, first opening, right? Directions,
right.
Guidance. Now, slowly it is changing into, because of the new technologies and social media, the connectivities, knowledge which is going around, students, they don't need direction like that. But what they are lacking, as she has been saying, confidence. It's an education which provides self-confidence to a student is the education. Whatever that is. He may be, when I keep using he, so you have to apologize, that's my habit.
That's all right.
So he may be somebody who is taking an arts and science classes. Maybe somebody is training himself to be a doctor. Somebody is training to be a lawyer, an engineer. But we will know how to get the curriculum, teach the curriculum to them. He will take references from internet. He will learn, write the exams, get the degree. He will move on.
Sure.
But what we have to do, because we have a captive audience. We have a captive audience. I always say they are a captive audience for us, right? We have few thousand captive audience in our campus. So what we can do or what we will do will make or break their life in the future, right? Every institution will get them a degree. Every institution, if we like it or not, will show them what are the internet sites they have to go so they can apply for a job. But what we should be doing is definitely give them self-confidence. How do we do that? First of all, every human being, especially when they are between 18 to 22, 17 to 21, they are here with us. Their brain is evolving. Right? Everybody says, according to the doctors, up to 25-year-old people are evolving, understanding, learning. So when they are learning, we have to give them the space to learn and grow. We shouldn't break their confidence. I'll tell you an example.
Please.
You continue.
Yes, please, sir.
Okay, I'll tell you an example. When so my son was born and brought up in US. So when he was in preschool, maybe in the first grade, there was a lot of complaints from the school saying that there is something called circle time.
Okay.
The kids will be around the table. I don't know whether you know. I went to a government school. I don't know about it.
I've actually studied in the US, sir, so I am familiar with circle time.
You are familiar with that. So when we peek into a class, when 4 or 5, 7 kids around the table sitting down in a chair, only my son will be on the top of the table, right? Moving around, dancing around.
Yeah.
So the teachers are complaining to me. My wife is every day in the night, it is your responsibility what you're doing. So we had a meeting with the principal and she said a beautiful thing. She said, teachers are new, they are complaining, but I'm not complaining, right? If you want to have accountants, if you want to have a clerks who will follow instruction, then you will be following all the rules. If you want to have a leader who is fearless, he'll be on the top of the table only.
Wow, what a beautifully personal story.
So if there are people who are understanding that, so that really opened my mind. We cannot be keep picking and choosing people who are looking different, behaving different, not following your instructions, and put them down, break their confidence. What we are telling the kids, you follow the rules, otherwise I'm going to break your confidence, right? So that is not correct. I'm not saying let's all be indisciplined. That is not what I'm trying to say. There is a small line between being indisciplined or being spoken out. There is a difference there.
Absolutely.
As long as the educators understand it, keep encouraging the kids in the right direction, we should be able to give the self-confidence to them. They should believe we will be able to excel. I may be bad in math, but I know what I'm doing in history. I may be very bad in engineering, but I know what I'm doing in law, right? We will find out, they will find out, give them the room. There are two things we can do. Either we can give them the self-confidence, or at least we can stop destroying what they have.
Correct.
So as long as we give them an education which provides them the self-confidence, I think we will create future leaders. As everybody says, we will not be the country which is looking outside, waiting for the external verification, waiting for, without racism, waiting for a white man's appreciation. So waiting for a New York Times, a column which is appreciating my effort. As long as we have that clarity in our mind, as long as we give that self-confidence to our students, our countrymen and women, of course, right? We will be able to do excellent. As she has been saying, we will have to look within. We set our standards. We try to excel in our standards. We should never look for somebody else's standard. So that comes with self-confidence. So where it begins, it should begin in schools and colleges by providing the self-confidence to the kids, not to break it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Yeah, please. I think our panelists have some comments back to that. So, all right, if we're sharing a mic, then I will let you start, Vidhi, and then hand it over to Dr. Kesan.
I will just pass the mic. Just one point that I wanted to make. I completely agree. And we've been chatting. So he studied in the US, I've studied in the UK. So it's very easy for us to understand this. But to simplify, I think the element of mentorship, where we help students identify who they are, where their skills are great, and how they could be positioned to be creative, that would absolutely help. And like have your son, you can sit on the table, of course, don't be indisciplined, and be creative, respect what the norms are. I think that is what is required. And mentorship is something that can help students be more creative. I don't know if you had that privilege of getting mentors when you studied in the US, but it's quite common in Western countries or when you study abroad that you have that personal element. And you know these tests these days about know your skills, work on your strengths rather than your weaknesses. That is very important. So that is what I wanted to add. Sorry, I'm going to pass the mic.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Please, Dr. Kesan.
Well, that's a brilliant point brought out by both of you. But here with the Indian context, I would like to say, it starts with the parents. More than the schools, it starts with the parents. Boys are kept repeatedly saying that study, get good marks, have a good job,
good wife, good house, good children, you be buried. That is goodness. Women, you be a good girl, learn the home skills, cook, because you're going to somebody else's house. So, both the genders have always been taught you are made for somebody, you have to work for somebody, work for somebody, work for somebody. Where is the confidence here? Where am I a human being that I have my own perspectives to build a huge industry of mine, to ideate my own ideas and bring it to life? Who is giving that support? Why we lose confidence is because if we have to go to the US and UK to study, or Australia, huge loans are the barriers for these children. So if they fail to, fail to set their loans off, parents get upset. Suicides, drugs, these are the repercussions that happen because of that. So they lose their confidence even before building their confidence.
And thank you to our panelists for really painting a very honest picture. And I want to take the conversation back to you now, Mr. Jayaprakash. Essentially, we all live in a social media era. And when you look at Next Gen India, in many scenarios, they trust the guidance of a social media influencer, more so than an educator that's within their own circle, that they interact with on a daily basis. So, could you perhaps tell me what is it that that educator provides that a digital platform or digital personality alone cannot?
Really sad. In fact, even UN report recently said 92% of a 12th standard students decide a career without proper information. This is mainly due to the influence of social media. The students doesn't understand. Somebody sitting in social media is guiding is not a Mother Teresa, first of all. Right? See, even I have more than 2 lakh followers. I can't even make 10,000 rupees. I'll ask you, will you work without income? No. So somebody is influencing them.
Right.
This is what the biggest problem is. See, they come and talk about which institution pays them, which institution goes for it. Now, this is what's happening, and students getting carried away with those. That's why I tell you one small statistics information. Last year in Tamil Nadu engineering admissions, 3,994 students, to be exact, really lost their wonderful career opportunity because they believed something in YouTube or some social media. They took a wrong choice of order. They had to go to the next round of counseling. They lost heavily. So this is not right. I tell them, even when I say when I go to schools, I tell them, please, when I say even you verify. In Tamil, there is a wonderful saying, Kannal kanpadum poi, kadal ketpadum poi, thivira visarippade mei. So we never do this. We never tell the children. And also I tell the institutions here, no, see, before we used to prepare our children for knowledge ready, then came industry ready. Now we say future ready, but I say we need to make our children revolutionary ready. Lot of revolutions are coming in this world. Unless we make them, otherwise we'll stay behind. So I tell students here, please, I tell the teachers here, tell them not to believe completely. Even if they watch it, make sure they verify, then they take a correct decision. Because remember, my dear students, some of them here, when you enter a career in 2026, the opportunity, job, challenges, technology will be totally different when you exit the course in 2030. We need to prepare our children for the future. Only the people who knows really about what is happening should come and talk about it. That's very good. I like sometimes, I'm seeing there are some, in the countries like China brought up very strong regulations in social media. If anybody gives the wrong information, they can be sued properly. So you need to bring some regulations in social media to make sure that our children doesn't get diversified and they don't take wrong decisions.
All right, creating a revolutionary ready Next Gen India. So coming to you now, Dr. Kesan. All right, when we look at the space age or when we look at developments in that particular field, you see long development cycles, you see repeated failures. There is no sense of instant gratification. That is simply the nature of the work. But none of these activities or behaviors are ones we inherently reward in the classroom. There's always us being penalized for being incorrect. And if one is to study space, history tells you that failure is the norm rather than the exception, right? So what needs to change, within the four walls of our classrooms, such that curiosity and resilience is nurtured by the educator and failure is not punished?
Beautiful, beautiful question. And I think it's a continuation of the confidence, I think, So whatever you mentioned is again going to the same word, confidence. If you're not going to build something that fails, then how do you know that you need to grow? So growth starts with a failure, and especially with the space industry, which is absolutely brutal. It's very, very brutal because, you build in a satellite with crores of rupees, one small error in your code, boom, that's it.
Right.
So you need to the quality control is extremely important. But when we started, this space cannot be taught in textbooks. I keep repeating this everywhere. Space cannot be taught in textbooks. You need to experiment. You need to explore. The very first time when we wanted to send a balloon satellite, a high altitude balloon in 2015, you had so many breakers. They said, if you want to do this, Dr. Kasin, 10 lakhs bond. If, any plane is damaged because of this, you will be behind bars. So the negativity is imposed even before you think about a positive thing. I said, science has to take that first leap. It's okay, even if I have to be behind bars, I don't care. So that's where we took that first bold step. And here again, these children were all from the tier 2, tier 3 towns wherein internet was a luxury. So we had to actually go to the libraries to get some papers printed from all these research centers, study through repeatedly, and we built the satellite. So today, we built 27 space missions, and all by students. So it is the belief and trust and platform. Before the VCs and startup culture came into space, we pioneered. I know it is very difficult. When we built the Kalamsat, the world's lightest satellite that went up a NASA Stereo Orion rocket, I had the PES people asking me an audacious question, oh, where is the courier bill?
Right.
Did you even literally send the satellite to the US? Such were the questions that will put you down. But if you think of those negatives, you can never be leaving a legacy, right? But not every child is brought up to create a legacy. Why? Give them that confidence. Again, I would say in the classroom, we are deciding an elephant. We are comparing an elephant to a fish, to a rabbit. If that is the case, where is the growth? So everything needs to change drastically in the education system.
Fair enough, fair enough. And I'll come to the two of you with my last and final question now. We're a little tight on time, but nonetheless want to hear from you. So Vidhi, look, I think a huge part of competing on the global stage in today's environment is having a sensitivity to other cultures, an intercultural fluency, if I could call it that, and an ability to adapt. But rather than that starting, once someone has left the country and is now in a foreign environment for the first time, when does that nurturing begin such that it actually reaps the fruit once you're on a platform where it's required?
I think it begins when you decide you're going there. And I keep saying the minute you land into whichever country, your true personal development starts. I think professional development, every university gives irrespective of the country, but personal development comes when you are outside of your comfort zone. So that begins from day one. And
there's no way to prepare for it necessarily until you're actually in that environment.
I think the only way to prepare for it, just be open to learning. Learning never stops, and maybe schools, universities, that education would stop at the age of 21. But overall learning is not going to stop. We are in this world where evolution is constant.
Right.
So if you're open to learning, you're adaptable, you're agile, then yes, you're prepared to everything. And I always say this to my students, that in the future, it's not the most knowledgeable who will be successful, but it's the most agile and open to learning is the one that will be successful. So yes.
Brilliant. And Saravanan, I'll come to you with my last and final question before we move on here at the summit. And sir, what is the single fundamental skill that will prove to be most pivotal or transformative across India's education landscape going forward?
My opinion, based on my own learning, is learning people skills, period. It's not learning English, French, German, no. Learning people skills. That is what's going to make or break somebody in the future. Either from the classroom all the way to the courtroom, to the political arena, anywhere you want. Either you're a businessman or you're working for a businessman. People skills is number one. That's what we have to provide to the kids. How to say politely to no, to somebody no. It could be a friend who is drinking and you want to be part of it, but you don't want to drink. You have to know how to politely say no, right? It could be a manager who is basically asking you to do something which you believe is not correct thing to do, how you politely say no, right? That's part of people skills. That's an example of people skills. So learning people skills, practicing it, and keep yourself open, as she said, keep it open for continue to learn new things and continue to unlearn what you learned somewhere else. That open-mindedness will help you throughout your life. It is not going to be only in classroom, everywhere.
Saravanan Vidi, Dr. Kesan and Jayaprakash. Please, sir, please.
I'll only rather add up with him, sir, with one more. If somebody asks me what is the best skill you need to learn, learning how to learn is the biggest skill you need to learn in this coming world.
Well, with that, I think I'd like to thank all of our panelists for sharing such a rich range of insights from their personal journey and their professional journey alike. Thank you for adding that depth and breadth to the conversation. A huge round of applause for them once more, ladies and gentlemen. Sure. And if I could please have my colleague Kalpana Sharma, editor with TimesNow.in, present a small token of appreciation to our panelists. I think it's a lot of color they've added to the conversation, and we'd like to recognize you especially. I think this panel more than did justice to the conversation just by holding nothing back, and what a 360-degree perspective we received. This is what the Education Summit is all about, ladies and gentlemen, celebrating stalwarts from South India who are transforming education as we know it. Thank you, ma'am.
And one last thing to all the teachers, principals, if I take the permission to do that.
Sure.
Everything starts with you. Be it the chairman, principal, teachers. We need life. Every day when the child looks at you, you need to bring that confidence, that happiness, that cheer. No pressure, smile. So keep that smile within you, keep cheering every little accomplishment of your students, and we can build a strong India. Jai
Huge
Hind.
round of applause. Jai Hind, huge round of applause. All right, thank you once again. All right, let's clear the stage, please. Sir, we have to move on, please. Thank you so much. All right, so up next, ladies and gentlemen, up next we have a truly inspiring session. And I'm going to coin it as a leadership monologue of sorts. All right? And our speaker is an absolute change maker. He's a change maker whose work has transformed lives, challenged taboos, and redefined social entrepreneurship in India. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Arunachalam Muruganantham, popularly known as India's menstrual man. He's a social entrepreneur, founder and CEO of Shri Industries. He needs no introduction, but we very much look forward to his powerful insights and lived experiences that remind us every day how innovation, empathy, and purpose-driven leadership can create a lasting impact. All right, with that, sir, I hand the podium over to you. All right, thank you.
Hello. Audible, na? PPT. The PPT போடுங்க. So this is called beyond marketing. I want to take the evolution from a village dropout to social entrepreneur. I am running a company called Shri Industries, but in my company I don't have stupid marketing manager and marketing department. In spite, we spread across India in each and every district and 78 other countries. That's what I am going to share in another 14 minutes. Madam cut short another. I planned for 25 minutes. It become 15 minutes now. It's Kishore Biryani. So the main thing, what I did, how a social problem converted into a successful livelihood. What the problem I converted into a successful social problem is 90% of women in India are not using sanitary pads. So while I am showing the slide, nothing happened in the hall. But the same slide I am using in Bombay, Chennai, Bangalore, same silent. But the same slide in Paris or in New York or in Tokyo, women in the hall used to say, oh my God, that's bush. Because women in the West, they're not able to even think how the women in India, they are not using anything on the periods, how they are managing. But why nothing happening in the hall, in spite of all the women are sitting? You have a mindset, if the poor woman don't have money, maybe she use a rag cloth. But in my experience, I saw many part of India, they are not even using a rag cloth. You know what they are using? While we are sending rockets to moon and Mars and sun, everything, they are using sawdust, dry tree leaves, newspaper ash. This is what happening. This all I saw while in my early marriage days, my wife using a rag cloth using method. I want to make a low-cost sanitary pad. That makes me a lot of trouble. Even the wife, Ms. Shanti, she never understood what I am trying. She misunderstood I am running behind a medical college girls. Send a divorce notice. Then I use sanitary pad myself because women is not communicating. So the feedback. I used the sanitary pad in my underwear for 2-3 weeks, I think. But it became very impractical. How I use, I can use a sanitary pad. Where can I go for uterus? I made an artificial uterus in the rubber bladder. I filled goat blood in it. I tied on my hip. While I'm walking, there is a tube connection to the napkin to the bladder. While I'm walking and cycling, I made a press. But out of 3 weeks, I think it's very impractical. But I decode a very important secret from God. After 3 weeks of using sanitary pad in my underwear. The strongest creature created by God in the world. Not an elephant, not a lion, not a tiger, the women. So anyone in the hall having doubt, gentlemen, use sanitary pad in your underwear, you can test. It is horrible. But after 2.5 years, I found the raw material secret because the women hygiene, the products is a Da Vinci code. It is meant for Europe and American companies. That's what from 1947 is in the hand of American companies because it's a huge secret. You need multi-million-dollar machine. I am trying with all type of partners in India, but I am not getting a good feedback from the women because the same time they are buying. I am buying from the shop that sanitary pad. I am giving to Santi. It is working, but what I am making with a super cotton is not working. Then finally I understood it is a cotton derived from a pine root, not from a cotton plant. But even after that, you need this multi-million-dollar machine to process that. And I never bothered. I use this method, this only method to thrive anything you want to do in the world new. There's nothing but trial and error method, including your marriage. This trial and error method, nothing all this. So the same thing in the companies, in government, you are using this word. But whenever you are showing the word, the younger generation, they thought, oh my God, it is meant for Kalams and big research department. That's what I'm saying for the student. Don't bother about this R&D or stupid this, that. Thoda pani dilute karo that R&D, it becomes trial and error method. Very simple. So if you say this, don't try to do something new thing. If you come this, lot of people will come and innovate lot of things. So out of this method, after 9.5 years, I made this simple machine. I used the same raw material from the multinational machine, what they're using in the multi-billion-dollar machine. I made sanitary pad. I checked with the girls, while by the time the women in India, they started driving gearless scooter, I met a girl, she is using my sanitary pads. I said the scooter color is very fine, maybe the name I don't want to say. The napkin I gave, she said on a particular day, she called me as Anna. Brother, I'm using a sanitary pad now, I forget. See the feedback a woman is giving. She is using my sanitary pad, she forgets she is on period. It is a Eureka moment, I succeed. With a small machine, I made a at-par napkin comparing to the big company machines, but I never bothered. You play the video, no? PPT. So this is the world first low-cost sanitary pad making machine. Instead of 500 crores, 2,000 crores, with 40,000 rupees. Yeah, uneducated women, they started napkin. No one know outside anywhere. No America will know. No Europe company know. Only one-man army. Then I started, I make the success of first unit. Then I'm tied up with the women group to the bank. I get my money for the machine. I'm making second machine. I'm giving to other. They are my stakeholders. See these men, they're eating good food only on festival days. They're calling us Naxals and Maoists. Only their uncles, brothers and fathers, husbands are having guns. These women are very pathetic. I'm trying to empower this type of women. I'm giving the machine to this type of women only, not for sale like a dealer distributor model. Okay, I decide to whom my machine to go. I set up a machine in the hilltop. It is 10-hour drive from Dehradun. See the backside. Even if you are having cancer, go there, stay for 3 months, walk with tribals on the tribal path. In 3 months, you will get 6 packs here. The cancer will go. That's a beautiful area. What I said, I saw this later in London to Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble. To go this place, Procter & Gamble will take another 25 years. Muruga is already there. This is called rural marketing. Okay. Rural marketing is a fancy word. The corporate can go, the revenue go up, but they will become miserably fail. That makes me later, in schools they set up the machines. This is the first type. He is my fan, Kalam sir. He's going on asking, okay. While he is present, I am sitting, it's a protocol. Nobody can wear half and shirt. But he allowed me to sit with him with the half and shirt. Okay. And I got a best engineering award, innovation award from Pratibha Patil madam, president. I always meet presidents only, not ordinary personality. A very simple thing, whatever you try, you want to do something new, then you give a name, then pack it, then you trial retailing. This is age-old model of 400, 500, 1,000 years. Suddenly all the Jack Ma's and Jeff Bezos are making a lot of noise and this tailing. But how a school dropout, this only for times now I'm wearing this very tight coat. Otherwise I'm wearing a dhoti and white shirt, very simple. Out of the multi-billion-dollar retailing, how the school dot Muruganandam is still a live current. I'm not a dead hero like 2 films are run, then it's collapsed. I'm a live current. Even yesterday I sent a mission to very remote area of African country. I'm speaking today here. My model is not retailing or stupid e-tailing. My model is detailing. This is what the corporate missed for 50 years, 60 years, more than 75 years. Out of detailing, we talk about, whenever you see advertisement before that, before the presence of Muruganandam in the particular domain, a girl wearing a tight white jeans, she run big and a small dog, she jump over a compound wall. Then I met the top CEO of the particular company, why you are giving the stupid advertisement for sanitary pad? No girl will try to jump the compound wall on a period days. Because it's a messy area, no one can talk. But now we've taken a film, like Padman. We broke the taboo. We are talking to the women about personal hygiene. Do you have itching? Do you have white charge? This is a problem. Don't use unhygiene, use sanitary pad. Through women to women model, we doing this detailing. Out of this, we created 1,343 local brands, not one brand, one Muruganandam company, private limited, and going IPO 4 billion, 10 billion, 23 billion. What nonsense? Nothing. No private limited company. Even today, Jayashree Industries proprietor, they can't buy me. They can buy my kidney, my liver, not the company, not the idea. That's why it became 1,343 brands. These brands are now creating $1.3 billion revenue. That is why I am discussing Paul Bowman, the CEO of Unilever. Where? At London. The Sanjeev Mehta is handling 7 countries of Hindustan Unilever from Mumbai. Finally, Muruga is middle. Why, you know? Muruganathan is making sand-prepared making machine in iron. The shelf life is 25 years. Women is going to menstruate for another 1,000 years. It's a rock solid business. I have become an item girl. That is why I'm standing in front middle. Lot of venture capitalists circling me like this. No. It's item girl later. MSN chief met 10 times in Coimbatore. The negotiation will go, but I won't convince. I said, finally I show my identity card like this. I'm sorry, sir, I'm uneducated. Whenever I'm saying uneducated, there is a secret. I'm learning. The moment you got graduation with all your stupid code days, you stop education. Whenever I pronounce I'm uneducated means I'm studying, even I'm studying. And later, it was happening in Seattle on his invitation. It is not a photograph somebody taken and photoshopped it. He called me, he insisted me, he ready to send a private jet. Because on the particular month I traveled US for 5 times in a single month. He is calling with his representative. I said, sir, I'm very tired. I already traveled for 5 times. He requested, I am there. He spent 1 hour, 3 minutes. It became a local news in Seattle because he won't spend more than 5 minutes other than some Buffett, what is Warren Buffett something. But he spent more than 1 hour with me. It became news. Then I got Shri from my beloved president. He is my customer also. Why I am saying, after reading the story, maybe the policymakers, somebody, how to make curriculum. So I am classifying people in the world into 3, uneducated, little educated, and surplus educated. Whatever the domain you study, chemical, engineering, rocket science, anything. So if an uneducated do like this, why not a surplus educated? What the mistake is happening in surplus education? That you point out, you make a curriculum according to that. That's what I am showing this all these things. So all the thing, the whole education system, once they got graduation, they are looking for stupid opportunity, but instead, I look for a problem. I'm insisting students don't look for opportunity, look for a problem. We are lucky we born in India. I was there in Swiss. I'm telling the student, you are our cursed one. You born in Switzerland. They really surprised, sir, why? We are all very lucky. That's what we born in Swiss. You fools. If you want to find a problem in Switzerland, you need a magnifying glass, you have to search for a problem. But I born in India, every step I will get 100 problems. So you took problem and use your education and give a solution, try to become a solution provider. That's what everyone in this chance to have a solution provider. So try all the education institute, don't try to make graduates, try to make a solution providers. So this is what that happened. Finally, the world is calling me as a corporate bomber, but I never put any bomb like Trump anywhere, nothing. It bravo. So I went all around like this. Bravo there. I don't know he is bravo. I spoke to his manager for a lot of days. Then finally he was there in my workshop. All the nearby youths are coming. They're pulling my gate. They're going to break my workshop. Then finally I asked, what you are doing? Often I used to play cricket. Then I know he's doing bravo. His crickets are like this. Luckily Messi never came to my place. Lucky. It was happening in London. The Performance Theatre is a forum formed by Fortune 100 company CEOs. They are calling me in 2016. They are giving me an award for Inspired Leadership Award by Fortune 100 company CEOs. Then finally I'm sitting with World Bank Germany, where I can't say I'm a school dropout, sir, or don't ask desk. I never bother. Because there Muruganathan is not sitting, India is sitting. I know that. The moment you cross Atlantic, you are not Vatsala, Susala, or Muttusamy, Kuppusamy. It is India. India is sitting. That's why I am very aware. You ask any question, I know bother. That's what I clarified. Where is my Prime Minister? Where is President? Because they simply ask, where is the Prime Minister now? If I say I don't know, they laugh. Because they want to know. They want to know very keen. I have to check where is my Prime Minister. I updated everything. Because the West, they will ask anything, anytime. Then it happened again. Every time, whomever I rub, at least 200 billion, 500 billion, or Fortune 100 companies. Then I asked permission to ask Paul Bowman. I made 140 billion hugging 0 billion. It's not matter of billions, it's matter of idea and survival about big, no, even to survive, it is not about where I talked about market shifting, the markets as something is a magic word in business, corporate business. Simply take a market share from one company packet to my packet. I am succeeded. Later somebody will come and they will take. But what Muruga did, the whole market I created is not steal from P&D or J&J. It is a created one. Those who miss this, with lot of, because I taken a class for SVPs of P&G. Even I don't know the full name for SVPs. It's a closed room session. I took I shy because Polman is sitting in the first row, he is taking notes. I stopped. Sir, really, I'm very shy. No, bro, you're telling a lot, go high. Then finally I asked, sir, what is called SVPs? Amruga, they are all my senior vice presidents. 77 come, serious. He is my friend even today. Only 3, Sam Petroda, Ajay, he is now a World Bank president. We only 3 Indians in that particular frame. Finally, I met this king also, recently, on his invitation. I don't know what is the idea he calling me, later only I know. I gifted a painting. There is a lot of meaning. I portrayed him as a king and Preeti as a wife, his wife, king and queen. So, okay. It has happened in New York. The Time magazine listed me in most under-influenced man list. 4 people started from India, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Arvind Kejriwal, Arundhati Roy, all are fine, but Arunachalam Brahmananda. I thought somebody will come, I can manage behind them, but all are absent due to some elections or something. Muruga is representing India. I am walking like Ice Roy in red carpet. They are all coming. And then finally they are coming with the stick bikes, they are asking, oh, what do you stand you took on Sri Lanka? I can't say go and ask Manmohan Singh. Then I'm managing, I'm giving answer. One girl is raising hell from the last one. Sir, only one question, please stay. Night 12 o'clock in Manhattan in New York. I stayed. She's come near to me. Mr. Murgu, I can call Arna because Muruganam is very difficult. Please go the question. Why modeling is not picking up in India? How come? What the answer is? Why modeling is not picking? I said, Santi is not interested. What? You asked what? I never said no, something, no. Santi is not interested. Why? Who? You ask why. Everywhere, immigration, everywhere they stop. You see, I am not coming to America. You invited Harvard. If you allowed me, I will go back, no problem. So you are coming Friday, you are leaving tomorrow, yes. I am having a workman, 60 people are working, 100 people are working. Because if we go in British Airways, they will check in London to enter into America. Then I fight that, see, I traveled 88 times to America. Shanti and my daughter is never visited. That's why I'm taking. This is the plan. These are the area visiting. 7 days travel. We are going there. The British man simply looks. Nothing he talked. He took some tea, something, a sticker, stick on me all the passport, he give it to me. Nothing. I never bother. So because I'm not seeking, if the US visa is neglected, I'm going to suicide, I come. Nonsense is happening of education. This is a curriculum. See, madam is talking is 100% true. So very simple. So I say this, time 100. It's a huge, I shared GG somebody's wife table I shared for the dinner, I think. The measurable social impact, very important, is created is more than 110,000 rural got direct livelihood created. And it became a Padman film. Now it's going to happen in Hollywood movie in New York. And it's rational. Again, they always list, I don't know why they are listing. Fortune is listing world 50th leader. I am there in the list. Greatest leader with the dhoti and shirt. So this was more than 85 million women to manage in my country. The vision is creating 100% sanitary napkin using country from the current level of 10% in 2009. From 1947 to 2009, in spite of presence of multinational company, the penetration is only 10%. Now it is through NSS, National Sample Survey, they make it 66% in urban, 47% in rural. So make it in 15 years, 15% increase. 35% we made it increase. So this is what the decision is not only for India. I put my open on the, like open software, my machine design. Anyone can copy my machine, anyone can make on their own. no restrictions. So it can access. This is called Silent Pink Revolution. These are the company we are already having presence. So this is called Beyond Marketing, Finding Relevance. That is very importantly, truly made in India. Not even a single part is imported. Truly made in India. Thank you very much. Yeah.
A huge round of applause once more for India's menstrual man. Sir, we're truly honored and deeply humbled to have you amongst us. And I believe that our award recipients this afternoon would feel all the more special to be recognized by you for their accomplishments and their contributions to the education landscape.
1 minute in between. You can give 1 minute Q&A session. Anyone can ask your question.
Some question and answer, some light question answer. Okay.
Anyone
It's
can
not
tell.
every day that we have Mr. Arunachalam in front of us.
While I'm talking, any hall, in spite of any country, they become silent. Then they don't have ask, but the best they will send mails, they will try to connect. So you can ask any question.
Yes, we're happy to take questions from the
Why
audience.
I'm showing photographs, so anyone can climb anything. I climb Everest. That is the proof. That's what I saw the pictures because this is the highest, that's what I'm showing photographs, this is this. Now there are case studies on me, on the activities what I did in Harvard, Oxford, all forts, in World Bank, in Asian Development Bank. Finally, the INSEED, Blue Ocean Strategy, they made a case study. Then finally, Tamil Nadu government, they put biogeology, something 12th standard book as a lesson. And recently, Kerala government, they come out 12 pages on English textbook. This story is a lesson. This what? The business become a lesson, not news. It become a lesson.
All right, wonderful. If there are any questions, we can take them at this time. And I see a few hands, so if we could get a mic in the audience. So, sir, we'll start with you with the light blue shirt. If you could please stand up and introduce yourself. And please state the question. We have limited time. All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are so inspired by you because people say don't judge by look. But so many people judge by look. But the way you show the pictures is really inspired. I can also travel 88 plus countries, plus I can meet 120 people. So the question is, how did you motivated yourself? Because in India, always they judge by look. Because wherever I go, I have to introduce myself. I'm working as a placement manager because everybody, already they judge me, I'm a student. Because you don't look like the person how you do the work. So they always judge by me, oh, are you a student? Oh, go and sit down. So I don't need to tell that I'm not a student, I'm a staff. So that's what inspired by you because it's always somebody will ask you, are you the person?
Okay, they will send it to me, out of session.
Yeah, thank you.
So first, everywhere the problem across the globe. Everybody, they want to motivate. Why should you motivate me? What is the benefit you are going to get? Why should people to motivate you to your success? Not that even parent, even your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife, your husband never motivate. Then why you are expecting somebody X? It is. Don't try motivation outsourcing. It should be inbuilt. It should happen.
Wow.
Even somebody is motivating, there is some dead problem, something, they will motivate something. It should be inbuilt. That's what the education system to create the motivation inbuilt. The education they are taking, it is the inbuilt, it will happen. So I bond with motivation. So there is a big motivation is there. I said don't operate, keep it yourself. That's what.
Don't outsource motivation, it comes from within. Wonderful, wonderful.
Inbuilt, yeah.
All right, sure. The next question, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
You're truly inspiring and my salute to you. I'm the director of Arts and Science College, the Hindustan College, and we have for the past 3 years a unit in our college for manufacturing biodegradable napkins.
Beautiful.
And also the district Rotary Women's Health Chair also. So what I would like to know is, it's always been something that's my desire also to have this reaching as many people, and your sharing with us that 90% don't have access. How do you think that we can collaborate with you so that we can take it to many more people? That's what I would like to know,
So
sir.
to collaborate with me, even no need to meet me or any of my team member. Whomever in the hall you are started talking about women menstruation without taboo, you started with collaborating me. That's it. So no agreement, no MU, nothing. The moment you started talking, you collaborated with Muruga. Because nobody ever talked across the globe. Now the London is copying, the New York is copying, the West is copying. They started giving free napkin. They are talking about personal hygiene, everything after seeing what is happening in India. Because only our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, his team, I have to thank Arun Jaitley and 77, 80 MPs, women MPs. You just think removing GST for a commodity in the country, they remove for this. And all the state government, they started giving free napkin. Lot is happened. So they supported. So this is what.
Thank you, sir.
You
Wonderful.
can collaborate. So all this, even the universities are making sanitary napkin is we only took forward. Because what I did, I will go further. I don't know how many, BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards. You talked about that. So all the standardization is did by West and America. So what I did after this mission, I put my nose into the BAS of sanitary pad. I had to change it. The whole world come to me. Luckily, like Venezuela, nothing happened. They never kidnapped me. I tried. So then I tried to make patents because they pattern the neem, they pattern the turmeric. Before they are patterning for you, madam. Try to pattern turmeric sanitary pad and neem sanitary pad. This all happened. So already Geetham University, they pattern 2-3 things. I told not Indian pattern, try to get New York pattern. Even they manipulate, you can try to pattern. That's what we have to pattern. I given my mission to all women universities. They are coming out with 100 different type of sanitary pads. They are patterning it also. This is called bombarding. It's like some same bombarding will happen. If you do put the bomb, the oxygen is no help to breathe. I forget the name. Nabod something will come. Nabomb. What's the name, sir? Bomb. Anyone know? You put the bomb, the oxygen will collapse. People will die. N-bomb something. So like that, I'm putting an A-bomb on corporate.
Atomic bomb. Thank you so much. Some very inspiring words from India's menstrual man. And sir, now we will take your time to present the next set of awards. It's all the more special when the award comes from you. So we'll proceed with the categories where we left off a short while ago.
Thank you, the ivory dress madam, giving more time. She is very strict for 15 minutes.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah. All right, so if I could now move on to our next set of awards. And the category for this next award is a very exciting one, Excellence in Overseas Education Consultancy. And the winner is Success Point Overseas Education Consultancy Private Limited. Let's please have the team on stage to receive the highly coveted honor here at the India Education Summit 2026 South Edition. Congratulations once again, all the more special to receive it from Mr. Arunachalam himself. All right. Congratulations on the highly coveted honor. And with that, we move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen. And the next category is Top Ranked School, International Curriculum, South Zone. And in this category, Top Ranked School, International Curriculum, South Zone, the winner is Hindustan International School, Gundi. Let's have the team on stage, please. Hindustan International School. Movers and shakers across the region, making their impact felt in India's broader education landscape. See all generations on stage, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what education is all about. Passing on the baton from one education and one generation to the next. All right, with that, we'll move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen. And our next category here at the India Education Summit 2026 South Edition is Innovation and Outstanding Thought Leadership. And in this category, Innovation and Outstanding Thought Leadership, the winner is Anant International Schools, Akarai. Let's have the team on stage, please, to receive this highly coveted honor from India's menstrual man. Innovation and Outstanding Thought Leadership, Anant International Schools, Akarai. Congratulations once again. Congratulations once again, Anant International Schools, Akarai, for their innovation and outstanding thought leadership. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll move on to our next category. And the next category is Excellence in Transformational Learning. And in the category Excellence in Transformational Learning, the winner is Ratinam Public School, Coimbatore. Let's have the team on stage. Congratulations. Setting new benchmarks, breaking boundaries. Excellence in transformational learning. And with that, we move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, which is Excellence in Educational Innovation North Zone. And in this category, Excellence in Educational Innovation North Zone, here at the India Education Summit 2026 South Edition, our winner is Evervin Vidyashram Senior Secondary School, Perambur. Let's have the team on stage. Congratulations. They're raising the bar when it comes to excellence in educational innovation across the North Zone and well outside of it. All right, with that, we'll move on to our next category, which is Excellence in Educational Innovation South Zone. So, in this highly coveted category as well, Excellence in Educational Innovation South Zone, our winner is Agurchand Manmuli Jain School, Chennai. Let's have the team on stage, please, to receive the honor. That's right, they're setting new benchmarks for excellence in educational innovation across the South Zone. All right. Congratulations on this honor once again. Congratulations. And sir, you've really raised the bar by being here. We'd like to present you with a token of appreciation, a small memento. And if I could please have my colleague Kalpana Sharma, editor with TimesNow.in, present sir with a token of gratitude, our way of saying thank you to India's menstrual man and Mr. Arunachalam Murugan. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kalpana. Thank you, Mr. Arunachalam. All right. So before we move ahead, ladies and gentlemen, we've covered a lot of ground so far, but I think it is important to take a moment to acknowledge our valued partners in this effort who've come together with an ecosystem of support to make this summit possible. So this summit, as I mentioned earlier, is presented by SDNV Vaishnav College. Our knowledge partner is SRM University, Vadapalani. Our supporting partner is ONGC, Kovre Asset, Karaikal. Our tech partner is Cyclops. Our real estate partner is Soparnika. And we very much would like to thank you because this is really a celebration and a salute of your efforts and your contributions. So with that, we now move on to an important conversation, the thought leadership side of this summit, that sits at the heart of school education today. And that's redefining school education by integrating life skills with academic excellence. So as learning environments evolve, schools are no longer measured only by academic outcomes, but by how well they prepare students for real-world challenges. Through critical thinking, through emotional intelligence, through adaptability, and values alongside a strong academic foundation alone. So this discussion will explore how institutions can essentially strike the right balance between curriculum rigor and life skills, ensuring holistic and future-ready learners. To spearhead the conversation, if I could please invite Ms. Kalpana Sharma, editor with TimesNow.in, to join us in moderating the discussion. And joining her, an esteemed panel of heavyweights, we've got Saran Kaur, principal of Chetinad Sarvaloka Education International School. If we could please have our guests on stage as I announce their names. Thank you so much. Yes. And V. Murli Krishna, director of Everwin Group of Schools. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Arnika Bahadur, managing director of Anant International Schools. And Priya Darshan, who's the principal at Ramachandra Public School. And Bharti Lakshmi, principal at Hindustan International School. So with that, we look forward to an extremely rich and insightful conversation. And Kalpana, I hand it over to you. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Pooja. Let us all please start. So, personally, for me, this is a very, very interesting panel. I'm a mother myself, and I write on education. I talk about, growth, life skills, how they are important. And we know that in this fast-paced world, things are changing rapidly, and we need to understand how we can prepare our future generation for it. So my opening question to all of you would be, and if you can just answer it briefly for me, that, what is that one life skill that you feel is very, very important for the children today? That one life skill. This, your mic, that's it, yes.
So first of all, I'm glad to share this space with all of you. And if I had to, just point on that one life skill, it's going to be hard, but I'll try my best. I think it's adaptability, because we face so much ambiguity in this world, and we are going out and, in situations where we don't know what entails and what are the next things that we are going to be into. So for me, it's definitely adaptability.
Good afternoon, one and all. So, basically, broadly, life skills helps you navigate across your school, college, and life. You need to handle your life turbulences, currents, whatever you're facing in life, you need to handle it only through your life skills. Mostly schools generally prepare for your next roadblock, which is college. College prepare for the next roadblock, that is job. They don't really prepare for the turbulences in life. There are constant current is always there in life, ups and downs always there. You handle it through your life skills. So there are many life skills that is recommended by WHO. At the top 10, that is definitely there, which is communication, collaboration, critical thinking, decision making, stress management, emotional management. All these are part of your life skills. What I would say top number one as far as India is concerned, communication is the most important life skill that is required. Because we don't speak in our mother. If I go to England, their mother tongue is English. Yeah. My mother tongue can be Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, Malayalam, whatever. But I am speaking another language that is not my mother tongue. And I'm expected to excel in that language. That is a second more critical condition. So students don't understand the subject and learn. when it comes to first age 1 to 10. So they miss their basics. By the time they come to college, they actually do not know much about it, but they are not dull students. They're very good. They achieve really well after college. Why they achieve well after college is because that language is not a barrier. Here, language is a barrier. I have to learn that language, I have to understand the nuance of it, and only then I'll be able to deliver. So, I believe if that can be bridged by the school at the formative years, when they start from KG to until they're 10 years old, where we actually bring in vernacular language also part of the curriculum. We are scared to do it because parents kind of underestimate us. It happens. Even you will do that as a parent. Even I will do that as a parent. Why is my teacher speaking in Tamil and also speaking in English? I want the child to understand the basics first and then slowly. It is an evolution. The language and communication is basically an evolution as far as I am concerned. And teacher plays a very major role in this. Technology, all that is there. But to me, the teacher is a magician. Only she creates that particular environment for the child to nurture and grow. And this is possible in the classroom atmosphere. Yeah.
That's quite interesting.
Very good afternoon to one and all. So at this outset, I would like to thank Times Now for organizing a very big educational summit, calling all the educators in this dynamic forum. So the one life skill which I vote for is self-awareness. The teaching is confined with the content delivery. So this pedagogy has to be shifted with the process-based learning. The student must know about themselves. What am I supposed to do? What for I am sitting in this classroom? Is the content learning alone enough? Is that going to take the students forward in the future? And here, you know, like the students have a pressure from the parents' side, also from the school side. Marks become very dominant in this education-driven system. So first, they don't understand their strength or their weakness. So moving forward, the children must be taught how to learn very deeply, conceptual learning, experiential learning. So the learning never stops, till we get satisfied. So the system has to be changed altogether. And my fellow panelist said about the language and the communication tool that plays a vital role in every classroom. And most of the parents, recent days, they want their child to speak very good English. English is just a communication tool. It makes the opponent to understand how well they have been taught so far. So it is not that language what you speak, it is how the students learn the concept and carry forward in their future.
Thank you.
Happy New Year and good afternoon to everyone from Hindustan International Schools. A very interesting topic indeed. Happy New Year. And thank you so much. What was organic and natural to all our learning years ago, life skill and living skills, is slowly becoming a separate entity, which I wouldn't agree. So probably in the conversation that we're going to have, we will delve more with it. But as per me, I think the most important life skill is to be change ready. That's it, because I think there's evolution,
Change
revolution.
is the only constant.
That is the only constant thing. So our children have to be trained for that. Good, bad, ugly, learn to be ready. Be revolutionary, but don't forget your core values. We'll delve more into it later, but thank you.
Thank you so much for the question. First of all, wish you a very happy new year to all of you from the Anant Internationals. Vanakkam Chennai. Such a lovely question which you have asked. And if I have to answer, I will say, first, students needs to learn the two life skills is a discipline and being fearless. You cannot be motivated every single day, and it is very difficult for any educator to motivate a student every single day. But if you are disciplined, you are consistent. And that is how we teach at the AIS. First, you need to be disciplined for being the consistent in your learning. Thank you.
Beautiful thought. With this, I come to you, life skills have always been treated like add-ons. Do you see some sort of resistance from parents when when schools per se push too much of it? What has been your experience?
See, we resist things which we do not experience or might not have experienced in our own schooling process. So as we take parents along, in this journey of their child's education, it is important for them to show what can be done with the skills. And it shouldn't be marks over skills. It should be marks because of the skills. And everything is integrated together. And today, when we deal with skill-based curriculums, like, ma'am said, nothing is separate. Everything is a part of what we do, and that is why we call it the curriculum. It's not limited to a syllabus. It's not related to a subject. It's not related to just one skill. So I think our parents need more experience, and that can be provided only by the schools. And a lot of responsibility is there on the school leaders to reimagine the orientations that they have for the parents, to reimagine how they can, give this information to the world, and to step up and share with the world what schools can do. So for me, if I have to give a very direct answer to this question, I think resistance is a part which is always there in any form, in any industry. But what we do and how we do really matters. And schools have changed to become community learning centers now. We don't just deal with the 3 stakeholders. We involve community. We involve a lot of service learning projects. So I think it's important how we relook at that and include parents together in this journey. Yeah.
That's interesting. And you, while you were answering my first question, you briefly touched upon, how parents themselves do not lay too much focus on communication, which you feel is a very, very important life skill. So what are some other challenges that you see when it comes to embedding these life skills into the curriculum? Do you see there are some other challenges too that sort of, kind of become like an issue?
No, I think life skill can be embedded, because you're not talking about finance literacy or something else. We're talking about how to handle turbulence after your education. So I think that can be very well embedded into your teaching arena, where the teacher becomes the key pointer. So the teacher should allow students to ask questions. I should not judge the student. That is the first thing. Second thing is, when teacher herself should be able to ask very intelligent questions. So I actually try to make the students think. I can talk about photosynthesis or whatever science project or maths project. I must be able to ask an interesting question that provokes their thought. And third thing, I have to ensure that the students collaborate for a project. So I'll make one person as a project head. I can make one person as a team member. I'll give different responsibilities. Let them collaborate and do. Somebody is not able to do, the other person has to help them and do. And then gender bias. So boys and girls have to be part of a team. Boys separate, girls separate. Boys and girls have to be part of a team. So they understand how to work with opposite gender. We don't understand how to work with gender. That is why the problem comes. They don't know to express their feelings. That comes in the like becomes a different way of understanding what they like. I like you as a person, but I understand in a different way. So they don't understand that. That's a very thin line, so that they don't understand. I think that particular thing, it can be embedded. It's not a very, you don't need a separate curriculum or separate structure for it. We have to empower the teachers to do that. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, something that children, we want to really, this word curiosity. He spoke about communication, collaboration, and how important do you feel is curiosity really in growing in the whole system?
Life skills become burden only if the teachers take as an add-on in the timetable. So teachers must sparkle the curiosity of the students inside the classroom. Every child in the classroom are unique, so they have their own talent. You have to allow the student to speak, to come forward, ask questions. Only then the real talent hidden behind every child will be known. So let us, teacher, do not underrate any student in the classroom. But nowadays, no, you can find every classroom is filled with lot of pressure, marks oriented. So where is the room or where is the space for the curiosity? We are not allowing the children to speak, to reflect, and there is no own space for the student. So they feel pressurized, and at the end of the day, they find anxiety and depression. So the curiosity is very important to define in every classroom. So the student must be motivated, encouraged by the teacher, and a mutual respect in the classroom has to be taught. The adult behavior, the responsibility, the resilience. So these are the values has to be incorporated in the student's classroom. So all these things will not be brought in a broad daylight. So it has to be organized. As my fellow panelists said, the discipline is very important, and how we organize and how we discipline. So that makes a much difference for one student to shine and grow as a better citizen.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll come to you. You spoke about discipline and, okay, sorry. You spoke about discipline and, you know, what is that thin line that you walk? Because if you try to discipline children too much, it's considered, like we were listening to our previous panel as well, it's not considered ideal for growth. But where is that thin line of discipline is so important for, as an educator? How do you see the balance?
Thank you for asking this question. I think this really has to talk about it today. As I said already, the motivation is not possible a single day by any teacher, and they can vouch for me. They are sitting here. When as a principal, as a school owners, you ask the teachers how much your class was energetic today. You know, they're finding it very difficult to answer. I'll come to the question which you have asked it. Let's understand in a such manner where my fellow panelists talk about the classroom. So what the definition I have given for the classroom is, which is collective learning and strategies getting built up with the simplification. So leaders cannot be just made it or born. So discipline, when it comes, are you creating the leaders in a classroom? So when the small concepts, we teach it with the simplified manner. We ask a very root cause questions in a class. We generate a lot more thought process in our classrooms. We hardly have to make any student discipline in a class. But what we bring in the discipline in a class about the discipline in the discussions, discipline in asking questions, discipline in respecting towards teacher, discipline towards themselves. When they find it, they achieve one small achievement, finding it out how a seed can grow to a plant with their own explorations. I think I have disciplined my student in terms of the learning. So what I try to say that it is very, very important that we need to tell them that is your journey. You are going to walk on that. But we as a teachers, as a mentors, will show you the right path for that. And when you walk over there, never forget that your teacher always standing there to tell you how to walk, but walk, ultimately you will be doing it. So that is how it happens in terms of the discipline in our school, in our classroom. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Beautiful. And I wanted to ask you, I mean, you briefly mentioned about, you know, the rising cases of suicides and all the mental health troubles that today's generation goes through. What are some non-negotiables in your school when it comes to life skills? What are the new needs that you feel that, you know, today's generation really need to be exposed to?
Right. I will touch upon your question directly in a few seconds. I'll begin.
Sure.
I want to give pertinence to life skill as well as living skills, which is very important. And I said it was organic before, and we're giving it a separate name now. When I hold the investiture ceremony for my elder students, for my senior students, I am entrusting them with the responsibility that they are accountable and they're leading the next generation. I trust them. So I have a life skill done. When I'm organizing an event, maybe a carnival or something, I call my senior students and I ask them to lay out the budget, lay out the meetings, plan the schedule. I'm entrusting them with collaborative learning. And they're going to lead this juniors too. When I am organizing and most important of all, walk the talk. When I come on time to school, when I speak politely, when I'm treating my, I don't want to call subordinates, I say colleagues. That's why in my meetings when I mention, I do not mention anyone as subordinate. I say we are colleagues. So my children are watching that. So they learn empathy. I we all have MUNs where we have debates. And before the actual debate, we have internal debates. I'm encouraging critical thinking. You have your views of the world based on what's happening around you. Speak it out. But remember, there is a generalized opinion, but you have the authority to speak. So I'm encouraging critical thinking. Mental health, most important. Allow them the space to think and speak. Fear, no. Respect. When you have respect over fear, when every child knows that he can approach his teacher, his principal, his parent, he knows that his social and emotional learning is absolutely calm. When he knows that he can express himself, he or she can express himself, he knows that he is safe and protected and he has a voice which will be heard. So, it's a very organic way that we have to think about life skills and living skills. And living skills, they're very simple. When I encourage children to go for NCC camps or scouts and guides, and when they do things by themselves, they're becoming self-reliant. And that's what living skills is all about. So today we're giving it a term called life skills and living skills, but they've always been in existence. Probably we're just giving them the direction that, look children, this is what life skills is about, this is what living skills is about. But it's always been there. Just notice, observe, and we as teachers and educators walk the talk. Simple.
Beautiful. I come back to you, Mrs. Saran. Yes, so I wanted to understand, if we just focus on this, on Tamil Nadu, what is that one life skill that you feel is important for higher education, for them to be prepared? Because a lot of colleges, and even when students from college go to the enter the workforce, people feel that they're not prepared. That's the general feeling, the Gen Z that, we keep hearing about, that they're not prepared. So what is that one life skill that you feel probably we can work on more?
I think throughout the schooling process, we protect our learners a lot because we see them as children and they're still learning and they're still in school. And, parents also, they go, drop them, pick them up. Teachers are told to take extra care of the children. Today they are not in a good mood, or they, had something to do which is affecting them a lot, and counselors are put up in the school. I don't say that this is not important. I do say that yes, we should have all the support that our children need, but somewhere we are overdoing it. We are not getting or letting our children out to face the real world. So again, without taking more time, if I have to say that, one skill that our learners should be, focusing on more is independence. And a little bit more agency to our learners also, where they can take decisions in their learning journey also. So instead of, saying that this is how we work, we should include students also. Can you please tell us what more can we do together as a community, as a learning community? Because the roles have changed. Teachers are no longer the, one source that has all the knowledge. So they are facilitators, they are guides, they are mentors, and students should be viewed as capable individual beings who can, take charge of their own learning. So independence and a little bit more agency in schools. Thank you.
Interesting. I'll just extend that a bit to you, that, obviously schools play a very huge role, but when it comes to parents, how can they support the entire learning, the ecosystem? Because they spend a lot of time at home as well. So what are the gaps that you feel need to be addressed?
Yeah, okay. Parents to me are part of the entire learning journey for the child. They're very important. They actually are, their involvement is very high when it comes to until they are 10 years or 12 years old. After that, the involvement actually reduces. The child actually requires the parent time as a currency, has to be spent at that point of time when the child is after 12 to 16 years or 17, whatever age is. That time the parent has to spend time. I think the school has to act as a bridge that no, you are, okay, when the child was very small, it's okay that you actually try to pamper and do, but when the child starts thinking independently, we are not able to accept it. So as a parent, they are unable to accept that intelligence, that this particular child is able to think on their own without my influence. So all that comes into play. That is a definitive war that is going to happen with the child, that the parent has to overcome and understand. Not through control, but through dialogues and action that is there. That is one thing that is important. Second thing, I think they make the child live in a perfect bubble. Parents actually make the child live in a perfect bubble. that is, even before the child feels bad, I think the parent is the first one. I see now most IT parents actually coming to our school say, my child and daughter is being stressed, depressed. They'll have 10 medical terminologies with them. Even before the child actually feels that, I feel they are feeding that kind of emotion to the child. And I think when we ask anybody who's the child, the parent who's, you just ask the parent openly, like, what you want for the child, the best means, the first thing they'll say only health and happiness. The second one will come only for, then comes education, then comes marks, then comes life, whatever it comes. So that is the first level. I think they should learn to accept failure. It's okay to fail. It's okay to fail, it's okay to fall down, it's okay to be stressed, it will come, you'll have to overcome, manage your time self. So that particular support, if it is there from the parent, then the school will also be able to overcome. That, I think that it is a bridge. I think we'll have to coordinate and work, collaborate and work. There's nothing hard and fast rule, but that's how it works with parents. Yeah.
Very interesting and very true, guilty. But I want to ask you, what are some, cultural changes that you have to get in your own school that really, encourage kids to think and be misfits, but someone who's headed in the right direction?
A teacher's mindset have to be shifted from the way of teaching, and they must take the responsibility for each and every student present in the classroom. And most of the teachers, they pamper the students and they don't, fully owe the responsibility to the children. At the same time, parents too pamper the kids at home. Ultimately, what happens, the students are pampered in both the places, and the end results, they don't take their own responsibility in their shoulders. So this trend has to be changed, unless otherwise the education system has been totally, comes with a pedagogical shift. These changes will not happen. Students must be taught to learn the basic etiquette, mannerism, and the discipline, how well they have to be organized, whether it is like in the school or in the public places. All these things cannot be taught in the classroom. It must be inbuilt. It starts from the family. It starts from the home. It should be in the soul. So the teachers have to be more inspiration than content or delivering the content or in the process of teaching learning. So these changes has to be brought inside the classroom.
Okay, that's interesting. And, you briefly touched upon empathy. I remember I was talking to a psychologist, and he told me that empathy is a declining life skill in today's generation. Do you agree, and what do you do, in your school environment, ecosystem, that ensures that, empathy is not a lost trait?
When we stop confusing empathy with sympathy, things will be in place. Empathy is, I think, when it's not just about the feeling, but about listening to them and making them understand that we went through it and we know how it's going to be. So creating that space, whether it is success, we often, what we do, we often say empathy in a sad or an unfortunate situation. Empathy has to be in a successful moment also. To give an example, a student of mine created an entire website for an event at school. And when my management, when my chairman appreciated the child, it's like, the whole thing was connected. The child felt so connected, so wanted to the school. The happiness reached everyone. So every child wanted to do something to show his ability and just to give that space. So empathy is that connectedness or that feeling of sense of belongingness, not only in sad moments, but in happy moments also. I think that makes a difference.
Beautiful. My last question, because we are running out of time, would be to you, today's generation is exposed to so much information online. We don't know how to walk that balance. What is it that you'd like to tell today's generation as well as parents? Because obviously you have to walk hand in hand with them. What is it that you feel is important and is missing to a great extent?
I think this is a very important question, and we all will agree here, right? Sitting as an educators, as a principals, a lot more knowledge is available on Google. Any student who is in the higher classes, they can challenge their educators, what you're teaching. It has just been improvised with the new researches or the articles. So what is our role is, I think that our role is to still will be available, and I will really agree with my earlier panelists when they were talking about it on this point, that our role shift has been happened as an educators. Information is available, but how to connect the dots and make it knowledgeable, only teachers can do. It is very, very important that when you Google anything, what all it is coming as an answer to you, how you will be practicing out, how much you will be doing the filtration of those knowledge in terms of your growth is very, very important. And that is how the teachers have been given a rename or the new name, which is facilitator or the mentors, which all the panelists today, we are talking about it, that we have become mentors now. We gonna mentor your journey. We gonna tell you that what is really important for you in what age. Because when the schooling happens, it just not starts only with the class 5 or the class 8 or the class 12, which we talk about that certain graduating classes as a primary, as a secondary, and as a senior secondary. It's not like that. Education starts right from the beginning when your child is just only 2.5, the moment start holding mobile in their hands. So it starts the first schooling, first mentor, it has to be the parents. So I really agree with my sir when he was talking about it, that how the parent has to be really guided and how we have to take their collaborations within the school. Because when the first admission comes in the nursery class, I think that is the biggest admission time. When we have not to guide only the parents, even we have to take them to walk along with the school's ideology, the mentorship, and the way the teachers have been trained in our classrooms. So, and artificial intelligence, I would like to say in that manner, it has given me much more ease because I can shift my hard work to the smart work. I need not to sit down on the laptop preparing the entire PPT. I just have to give my thought process over there in the bullet points, and I need to instruct the AI, please generate and images accordingly, or just purify or simplify my wordings accordingly. So that we teachers, we school owners, we can invest our time for much more life skills, much more preparations, which is really challenging it in the coming year. We can invest our time building it up. And yes, empathy and emotion, the EQ will always be on the higher side than the IQ. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I add a point?
30 seconds?
Yes, sure.
Continuing with what Madam said, Google, Notebook LM, you ChatGPT, you name it, it's all there. So parents and educators, let's update ourselves so that we can teach our children better. And remember, natural intelligence will never go out of fashion. There will be moments in your life when children will need you, and you have to be there. Not as the professionals, but as the mother, as the sister, as the aunt, as the uncle. So education is changing, but not without natural intelligence.
Beautiful. You want to...
Yeah, just last point.
Yes, sure.
Thank you. When it comes to mobile usage and the thing, the problem is with instant gratification. They want to see, they want to scroll, it keeps going. And parents also encourage it because they don't want the child to shout or create fuss. I think parents should emphasize on boredom. It is okay to be bored, but you think about what has to be done with the boredom. So my daughter actually, I play with my daughter, and my daughter, after a point, I have my own work, I just go about it. She said, Appa, come and play with me again. I said, no, my time is over. You decide what you want to do with your time now. She said she wants phone, I think. Phone, she has separate time. Now this is not a time for phone. You decide what you want to do. So she takes some vessels and all that stuff she'll do. She'll create her own play work area. I think that's how you need to, it is okay to actually be bored. It's okay to be silent, but that will be helpful in the end. They try to create their own world, games, whatever. For my daughter, that is what I see. But similarly, that's how the most innovative thoughts always come when you're separate, when you're in separation. Yeah.
It's so interesting to hear all the thoughts from you leaders and educators truly an enlightening session. And boredom and some takeaways that we have, beautiful takeaways, boredom and, curiosity, and how AI should be used as a tool and not seen, because human intelligence will always win. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you.
All right, what a wonderful back and forth. And Kalpana, I ask that you please felicitate each of our panelists with a token of appreciation, our way of saying thank you to our highly distinguished panel, who touched on integrating life skills with academic excellence. That's right. If we could please present a token of our appreciation to Saran Kaur, V. Murli Krishna, Arnika Bahadur Priyadarshan, and Bharti Lakshmi. They touched on it all, from critical thinking to emotional intelligence, to adaptability, to values, to an educational foundation. This panel's trailblazing work is setting new standards for balancing curriculum rigor with life skills, ensuring future-ready learners and holistic development. Wonderful. Thank you. A thank you to the entire panel, please. And Kalpana, I ask that you please remain on stage, and our panelists can now take their seat in the audience, please. Thank you so much. All right, so up next, we turn our focus to a critical priority for higher education today, bridging the skill gap, aligning higher education with Industry 5.0 needs. So as industry evolves towards more human-centric, technology-driven models, institutions must rethink their curriculum, their pedagogy, and partnerships to ensure that graduates are future-ready. All easier said than done, though, right? So this discussion will explore how academia can stay aligned with emerging industry expectations while nurturing innovation, adaptability, and real-world skills. So Kalpana will again lead us through what promises to be a power-packed back and forth. And joining her in the conversation are our list of panelists, highly distinguished industry heavyweights. So if I could please invite them on stage. We've got Vasumati R., Dean SDNB Vaishnav College. Let's please have them on stage. Congratulations and then welcome, ma'am. All right, and Dr. Susan Varghese, MS, Optal, Vice President, Hindustan Group of Institutions, and Director, Hindustan College of Arts and Science. Please make your way to the stage, ma'am. Thank you so much. Dr. Srinivas Chakravarti Sanagappu, Head of IQAC Amrita Vishwa Vidyapitham, Chennai. Welcome, sir. Dr. C.V. Jayakumar, Professor and Dean, SRM Institute of Engineering and Technology, Faculty of Engineering and Technology. Welcome, sir, to the discussion. And Dr. Angeline Gautami Fernando, Program Director, PGDM and Faculty Business Analytics, Great Lakes, Chennai. So if we have all of our panelists with us, we then look forward to an insightful discussion. I think, yes, we're all here. And with that, I will let you spearhead and navigate the conversation, Kalpana, and guide us through a deep dive. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Pooja. So this seems to be like a very, natural and organic move from schools to colleges. And of course, from college, our children move on to the workforce. So, which is ever evolving, rapidly changing, and you at your own level have been trying to make them future ready for the future corporate rooms. So what is it that, first I'll throw a question to all of you. What is that one big challenge that you see in making the children future ready?
That is the skill gap, I would say.
Yes, a skill gap.
Yes.
Okay, the skill gap you're saying.
Skill gap.
Okay, great. We'll go into detail during the discussion, yes.
Yeah, so good afternoon and very happy to be here. So as we had this very important and pertinent question, I would say communication would be the biggest challenge that we are seeing right now. They are able to come across, but communication and learning how to come out in the corporate world to say the right things to the right time. And it's not like when they were in school days and can put a tantrum, or college days where they could still get away. But corporate life is totally different, and how to perform and how to say the right things without hurting another person, to build up the team together. It's all a big challenge that they will be facing.
People skills.
Yes, people skills,
yes.
Sure.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. Like one kind of gap, common gap, what I could say is embracing the AI. See, everyone is speaking about AI, and definitely we believe that we are stepping into Society 5.2 along with the Industry 5.2, I believe. So in this scenario, definitely we are supposed to embrace AI, but how to do that? It's simple. Evaluate AI. AI is everywhere, but whether it is useful for you or are you making something interesting out of it, that makes sense. So one should address that gap. Thank you.
Interesting.
Good afternoon and Happy New Year to all, and thanks for the opportunity given. The one gap which I could find is the lack of confidence and probably the fear of failure to face the real world problems. As my fellow panelists pointed out, the AI plays a vital role in probably magnifying these, the lack of traits.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity. So one huge gap that I would comment on is the unchanging curriculum that is not adapting to the rapidly changing external environment. Yeah, that's a big setback. So I think educational institutions need to be more agile, and rather than finding fault with students, I think we have to introspect and actually work on us.
That's very interesting. In fact, I'll extend that question to you. That how do you see that, colleges today, what are the kind of changes that they can bring about to make our children more future ready?
Okay. We at SDNB Vaishnav College, we believe that in two things. Every student has a unique potential, and every day is a learning curve. Okay. So that being said, colleges like us, I would say we should look at it in three unique ways. One is curriculum transformation. Another one would be the pedagogy shift, and the third thing would be the role of AI. The Gen AI, which is the current trend. When I talk about curriculum transformation, we should always, get in touch with the industries and keep on revising our curriculum, catering to the industry needs, and encourage students to work on more real-time projects. And the pedagogy shift, when we talk about that, traditional way of teaching and learning is gone. So we have to encourage students to learn in a more experiential way. It should be a 70-30 model, 70% of practical skills and 30% of theory. That's what I would recommend. And also I would encourage students to take up more internships and also entrepreneurships, so that, we don't provide just the job seekers. We should also produce job providers. And also the assessments, what is the traditional system that has to be replaced with the competency-based outcomes. So if those kind of changes and pedagogy shift comes into place, parallelly we should talk to industries and try to bring in more of a train and hire programs and hire and train, where the industry steps into the college, share their curriculum, and we work out the academic team based on the inputs given by the industry and make them industry ready. And the students can get better placements with good packages. That's what the destination is all about, right? And coming to the role of Gen AI, we should look at it as a co-pilot. In other words, it's AI assistant. If it is used as, just the copy-paste tool, the risk is very high and the usage of AI gets diluted. So we should have an AI policy across colleges to teach about the ethical usage of AI at the student level. That's what I feel. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I'd like to ask you, you spoke about people skills. there's healthcare, technology, so much that our children learn. And they all have a high decision impact, But what is it that you feel, according to, I'll exactly read the words, handle moral complexity and responsibility? How can we enable that?
So very pertinent question also, Kalpana. Basically, since you talked about healthcare also, I'm a medical professional also. And it's been found that 1 out of 10 deaths which happen is also not just due to a technical error, but due to moral and ethical decisions which are made. And it's been found that less than 5% of our education, that is actually literally 2.2% of all the curriculum, has even got anything substantive about ethical AI usage itself. And now that everybody is talking about AI and it's all the future, and right now here, it's more about embracing it rather than fearing it, and augmenting our curriculum with AI itself, and how best to teach also ethical usage of that. And rather than always trusting algorithms, how to challenge the algorithm also is going to be a very, very important part of what they have to be taught, the students at every level. And we at HCAS, at Hindustan also, right from the time that we saw that from 6th standard, in China, they've been teaching about AI. They've incorporated it. Right from that time, which is about a year and a half back, I called my whole team together and said, we have to have AI in every department, be it English or be it, our languages or Viscom or microbiology, life sciences, or of course, computer science and business studies, whichever department it be. Every single department has to have a component of value-add courses incorporated with AI itself. So we are like bringing it up to speed so that, right now our GR, just like our chief guest spoke about, it's right now at 51%, she did mention. But we just had a meeting with the education secretary about how the vision for higher education is now for Vision 2031, that is 5 years from now. The vision for Tamil Nadu is to bring it up to about 90%. And in fact, we were questioning, that's a very aspirational goal that we have. But that sort of a goal would need us to really embrace the technology and take it forward. And every single higher education institution needs to do that too. Yeah.
Thank you. And something that we discussed before, that, with the changing workforce, do you feel that kids' aptitude is being measured fairly, or the parameters need to change?
Definitely. So, as of my understanding, we are evaluating the students on quantifiable attributes only. But definitely, we'll have to go with non-quantifiable parameters. Then definitely, we'll be on an ambiguity, like what is quantifiable and what is not quantifiable. Simple, grades are quantifiable. Your degrees, your outcomes are perfectly quantifiable.
Yes.
But how you achieve that is not quantifiable. Simple thing is, like, very recently we might have heard that a guy from IIT Hyderabad, I think he bagged some high package salary from Google, I guess. Why Google has offered him that package? Just because of his domain knowledge? No. Or his competence? Not exactly. In fact, they have valued his judgment. They have valued his adaptability. I heard that guy was consistently solving the problems for 3 years, for last 3 years, I believe. And last 1 year, he solved 370 plus problems, which is nothing but less than one problem a day. So that shows the consistency, that shows the judgment, that shows the adaptability. In the AI-driven world, especially when we are talking about Industry 5.0, where, human-centric experimentation is there, but also embracing of AI, like what our panel members were telling. So in that scenario, definitely judgment and adaptation, especially AI-driven adaptability, has to be looked upon. So when the quality framework attributes are looked upon, I think we need to revise on that particular things. Like what our co-panelists were telling, we will have to blend the evaluation metrics. Like 70%, yes, what she was telling is right. 70% go with the quantifiable, and other 30% go with non-quantifiable parameters. So it's not about how many problems he has solved. It's about how he has solved the problem. I believe in process rather than the product. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Mr. Jayakumar, in your engineering college, how do you see AI evolve? And how is it that you walk the balance? Because like in the previous panel, we were talking about human intelligence reigns all. But, where is it that AI needs to stop? Do children these days, it's believed, are not able to really understand that difference?
Very honestly speaking, using AI, we should shift from the terminology using AI to controlling the AI or governing the AI. Because AI gives a solution. But the student should be taught or mentored in such a way that they are able to question that. And instead of asking the students to write an answer for a question, the shift should perhaps be, at least in the near future, that we give an answer and ask them to find out what are the errors in that. Be it a design generated by AI or a project proposal or a project report generated by AI or a diagnostic interpretation by AI. The student should be able to understand and find out what are the mistakes in that, the report as generated by AI. See, again, the AI is playing a vital role, but nonetheless, AI is trained by the human. So HI is playing a vital role. So HI should be prioritized than the AI. In my good olden days when I was a teacher, basically in a different college, students used to give me a report or a statement that, sir, it is all the analysis done by the package. Then immediately my question was, fine, the analysis done by the machine or the package, but what are the inputs you have given? So depending on the input, the machine is going to give you output, whether you have given the loading conditions properly. So that to that level, the student should be made to think on the real life problems as real life problems than imagining things. So that would perhaps give the students a confidence that you give an answer and ask them to find out the mistakes. That is as simple as that. Right? So the paradigm shift should be how we teach the subjects than what we expect from the students. Write an answer should be eradicated, though it's difficult. As a teacher, I should not say that, but still, the reality we got to accept. All right? Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll extend that question to you as well. In today's AI-heavy environment, how do you, in your own college, really see what's the balance and how you really need to approach that?
Thank you. I agree with my co-panelist on this, and that we should encourage experimentation among students. So we are a B school. So at Great Lakes, we encourage a culture of experimentation and, of course, engaging with real-world problem scenarios, as some of my panelists pointed out. So what we do is, so if it is Industry 5.0, they're going to augment the existing workforce along with bots and AI. So it is going to be augmentation. So then the ground truth for these machines comes from humans. So therefore, students are taught to build domain expertise. So therefore, when they work with real world problems, they build those domain expertise. And another thing that I think all of us should look at is looking at including ethicists and governance into a curriculum. So for that, we would need such partners to look at our curricula. So that ensures that tomorrow when, let's say, Industry 5.0, it's not tomorrow, it's happening today. So when students work with these machines, so auditing the output, so algorithmic biases that are there. So students should be able to pinpoint and not rely entirely on the machines, as my other eminent panelists pointed out. So these are things that we would like to encourage in our curriculum. And we have we have data, synthetic data sets now. So how do they try to work with such machines and data sets? It's something that we need to look at. So that's what we do at.
As we know, Industry 5.0 needs both human creativity as well as AI intelligence. So for lack of time, I would like to throw this question to all of you that, what is that gap that you feel needs to be bridged immediately, and who really needs to help and step up for that?
I would say from Industry 4.0, it is more of automation and efficiency, and 5.0 is human-centric, as we all know. So the area of gap, what I feel is the intervention between the human skills and the machine. That area of gap, like other panelists said, that need to be addressed. And secondly, there should be an open book examination pattern wherein, the students should give an opportunity and students can, copy using AI. That assessment pattern, as I said earlier, should not be based on answers, should be based on the prompt, what they gave to fetch that particular answer. It's more of a reasoning. That's what I feel.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you asked for one, but I would like to say two.
Please.
So basically, this age of where we are already now in the revolution of AI, I would say that teaching about ethical judgment, which has to be made, and the justice which needs to be a part of every decision, because going forward, so much of plagiarism is there, so much of prompts are given where students are not studying what they are supposed to be. Everything is all obtained in the manner that we all know that they are doing, maybe through Google or ChatGPT or whatever it may be. So ethical judgment, and the other thing would be empathy. These two are going to be the two main things which are needed. So we are now looking at 5.0. It should be the age of not just smarter machines, but of wiser humans. So that was what I would say.
Beautiful.
Well, I would like to answer this question in slightly a different perception. I would like to give the accreditation point of view here. Reason is most of our institutions will be back after getting accredited. So I wanted to bring in that perception. Thing is, if you look into the accreditation agencies, they go by standardization, definitely. Why? Because they have their evaluation pattern is they look for commonality or uniformity across the infrastructure or the curriculum or in many other aspects. So what I call this as a policing model, not an enabling model, which is the need of the hour for bridging the gap to Industry 5.0. So what happens in enabling model is like, the teaching learning methodology slightly takes a leap towards AI-driven pedagogical methods, like experiential learning, or like what open book examination, but provided how ethical the student can be. So those kind of, as I said, quantifiable and non-quantifiable metrics have to be evolved. So in that sense, I see that the frameworks have to be coming up with a hybrid metrics. So definitely, if we have such a strong hybrid metrics, then we can fill this particular gap. I don't see that thing. Thank you.
Quite a pertinent.
To bridge the gap between the academic and the industry expectation is, Industry 5.0 talks about the resilience and then all that stuff. But the student should be made to understand and made to appreciate what is wrong, what is right. See, the industry, there is a difference between engineers and an industry, an average engineer and a seasoned engineer, where he will be able to identify why he accepts this solution, why he rejects this solution. So if we toggle between these two, and if we're not able to do that, then AI, anything cannot help these students. So students should be given an understanding that AI or the solution given by AI is not the final and binding. You got to have an authentic identification or a justification of the solution given by the system. If not, again, we need to train the model, train this machine, and then get the corrected expected outcome. So that will probably bring down the gap, though not completely close it. So over a period of time, we might expect that the gap between the industry expectation and the academic, the producing the students becomes a small dot. Till then, it's going to be an iterative study, I believe. All right, thank you.
Yes.
If I have to talk about a single cap, then another thing that we haven't discussed, I just want to add on. So I think in all humility, faculty members, currently we lag. Students actually know more tools, they are more familiar. And if we have to get an industry-ready workforce ready, I think as part of curriculum or part of institutions, we should have sabbaticals for faculty, maybe short-term industry interaction where they upgrade themselves and come back so that they can prepare the students for 5.0. So that's something that I would like to recommend. That could be a gap.
Interesting. You'd like to add something?
To add up to that, we have a principle called Faculty Industry Immersion Program, where the teachers are deputed to various industries for about a couple of weeks or a month to upgrade themselves on the recent developments in the industry. And when they come back to the college, they disseminate the knowledge they gain there to the students so that the students are equipped more with the recent development in the industry. So in SRM, we adopt that. The faculty are expected to undergo FTPs and FIIPs, wherein I equip myself with the recent developments and the technologies in the particular chosen domain. So that could probably reduce the gap.
Yes, absolutely. That sounds like a very interesting. Yes, please.
Yeah, I would like to add one more point on top of it. We would also like to encourage our teachers to undergo in short duration internship programs and entrepreneur programs, wherein they'll also get some practical exposure, and it would definitely help the students' fraternity. Thank you.
Thank you. And with this, on this note, humans first. Yes, please.
So, like we mentioned everything else, but entrepreneurship development, of course, bringing up, pitch fests and CEO talks. And we have established seed funding, which is in our campus itself, so that we don't just talk, but we show them how to walk the talk and develop their own ideas, because nothing like our student body with their brilliant ideas and, the way to go forward with new startups. So we help them, handhold them through the whole process also. So that is definitely going to be that big skill gap that is being upgraded. And then, of course, also the World Economic Forum says 50% of our faculty needs to be upgraded, upskilled by 2030. So in 5 years' time, we are looking at all of them being upskilled, to handle the new age of the beta generation of children who are coming, skilled right from day one. When they are born with AI technology. So that we have to learn and unlearn how we have done many things and relearn many things too. Thank you.
It's lovely to see that all the educators themselves, identify the gaps and are working towards it. And thank you so much for joining us today.
All right. Thank you to our Power Pack panel once again. And Kalpana, I ask that you please present to each of our panelists a token of gratitude, a memento, our way of saying thank you from the Times Now In Education Summit team, South Edition. That's right, we're re-acknowledging all of our panelists, Basumati, Dr. Susan Varghese, Dr. Srinivasa Chakravarti Sangappu, Dr. C.V. Jayakumar, and Dr. Angeline Gautami Fernando. They've truly done justice to the topic, which is bridging the skill gap and aligning higher education with Industry 5.0 needs. Thank you. Thank you, Kalpana, and thank you to the entire panel. Thank you once again. All right. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, up next, we have the honor of inviting our guest of honor for a special address. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, he's been a strong voice for social progress, inclusive development, and education-led empowerment. And we look forward to her perspectives and insights as she addresses the gathering. I ask that you please join me in welcoming Dr. Kanimozhi, NV and Somu, Honorable Member of Rajya Sabha, Tamil Nadu. Huge round of applause once again for our guest of honor. Ma'am, we ask that you please kindly do join us on stage, take the podium and address our August gathering with some words of wisdom and what promises to be a highly inspirational address. Dr. Kanimozhi, NV and Somu, huge round of applause, please.
Good afternoon to everyone. I think it's been a long day for you guys with so much of debates and panel discussions. I wouldn't take much. I would just put it across in a very simple manner. Just the revolution of education in Tamil Nadu, how it has been and how it has taken the turns and twists. To start off with my speech, I would like to quote the words of Nelson Mandela, who said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." But history doesn't teach us that way. Education does not change the world all by itself. The government behind the education decides who gets educated, what to get educated, and what is the price of that education. That really matters how we go forward towards the society education. But cutting across the lines, Tamil Nadu stands first, apart from the rest of this country, is what I could proudly say in this Southern Summit. Tamil Nadu has made its choice very early, decades before, and treated the state's education as not as just a welfare commodity or a market commodity, but as the Dravidian movement treated education as a tool of social justice and a core responsibility of the state. That single choice, which repeatedly came over the decades, is the reason why Tamil Nadu today stands far ahead of the national average in almost all the indices. The current DMK government, just last week, they had organized an event which is called Tamil Nadu Excels in Education, which means Kalvil Siranda Tamil Nadu, in which we would have watched it on the TV with so many achievers who spoke about the educational journey which they had it during the reign of DMK. We would have heard of one daughter of a BD rolling worker who had secured an IPS position, and a son whose father had passed away and who had attained an IAS position. We should really thank that single mother for doing with all these efforts. The children of the daily wager laborers who had secured employment through the Nan Modalvan schemes. And children from the poor Dalit families have gone to pursue higher educations and reach out to foreign universities through the schemes given by the Dravidian model government. As all these success stories and are the testaments of the success of the Dravidian model under the leadership of our Chief Minister, who followed the footprints of Thandai Periyar, Peraringar Anna, Muttamaringar Dr. Kalaignar. Our Thalapathy MKS prioritized the social justice and inclusivity in education to achieve what the rest of the country set to achieve by 2030. We could call it a pride of Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu's vision for inclusive and sustainable economic development based on equality and social justice. That was the motto of us. Ellorukkum ellam, everything for everyone. I would call it, we had a state educational policy which was evolved in 2025, propelled by the Dravidian government, focusing on the equitable access and skill development for all background and tackling the discrimination of caste, creed, religion, and the socioeconomic status. I would like to just put it 4.5 years before, when our current Chief Minister took over the leadership of Tamil Nadu as a Chief Minister. We had a tough time. That was the time where we had the pandemic outbreak of COVID-19, and it was the biggest challenge to the government. And there were many dropouts from the school during the COVID-19 initially, and to reduce the learning gap among the school students during the COVID-19, this period, the program was implemented for students from class 1 to 8, which was called as Illam Thedi Kalvi, which means education at the doorstep, which approximately around 34 lakh students got benefited with 92,000 settlements across the state, and they all returned to school. This really needs to be taken a strong look at this. I would not stop here. Usually in Tamil Nadu, we have a proverb saying that Vandarai Vaazha Vaikkum Bhumi, which means a land which welcomes everybody and supports everyone. In that way, we are also educating and giving quality education to the migrant workers who come and live in Tamil Nadu, which we usually call in Tamil as Pulampeyarndavargal. When the 10th grade public examination results was announced, we had a student by the name Jia Kumari from Bihar, who studied at the government school in the Kol Bazaar near the St. Thomas Mount, had scored 93 marks in Tamil. Praising the schemes implemented under the Dravidian model governance, including the Nan-Mudalvan scheme, Jia Kumari, the student from Bihar, expressed her hope that the Dravidian model government would fulfill her desire of becoming a doctor. I think she lands there. Just as the quality education is provided to children born in Tamil Nadu, the government's free education scheme is cutting across given to the other state people who come to live here without any discrimination. This was also appreciated by the Bihar officials. Around April 2024, around 250 officials from 40 districts had visited Tamil Nadu from the Bihar district, gave a statement saying that Tamil Nadu education standards are sky high. And that statement was not made by Tamil Nadu people. It was made by the Bihar people and Bihar officials who visited Tamil Nadu. But this was not just achieved over a day night or just over the last 5 years, with what I would say. It really took a century for us to reach here. Education and employment were given importance during the time from the Justice Party, a party that struggled for the demand of education and employment opportunities way behind 100 years ago. Most importantly was the communal representation which was introduced during the Justice Party rules. Since the party was there for only a short period, they were not able to implement many schemes. After the rule of the Justice Party, following the DMK's rise in power in 1967, schemes were implemented to ensure that education and employment opportunities were available to all and common people. It is because of such schemes, which was been evolving of all these decades, Tamil Nadu today has the highest gross enrollment ratio, around 51.3% in India, compared to the overall GER of 28.4. I think Tamil Nadu is double that of India. This is mainly because of the schemes implemented by the Justice Party era to the DMK rule, and this is why the reason Tamil Nadu is a leading state in education. During the Justice Party, the midday meals program was first provided. Then it was taken up by our ex-Chief Minister, late Chief Minister Kamaraj, and then it was during the period of MGR time. And when Kalingar came back to the power, in the same midday meal program, eggs were also introduced to give protein to the school students. And now, the current CM has gone to the next level of bringing in the breakfast scheme programs, which would bring in more entries of students, not only the midday meal, but also the breakfast scheme program, which was implemented by our Chief Minister. Particularly to say, very importantly, about the higher education in Tamil Nadu, I would just like to put some statistics in front of you. Tamil Nadu has 22 universities. Out of these, 19 universities were established after 1967 during the Dravidian regimes. In total, there were 52 universities, including both government and private institutions. 37 colleges from Tamil Nadu have been included in the top 100 college list, which was released by the Union Ministry of Education in 2024. There are 3,500 engineering colleges across India. Out of these, 502 engineering colleges are located in Tamil Nadu alone. And 14 engineering colleges out of that brings into the top 100 colleges in all over India. The Union government selected and published a list of top 100 colleges in all categories. In this list, Tamil Nadu has 22 universities, 7 medical colleges, 12 pharmacy colleges, and 11 management institutions. And among the top 50 state universities, 10 are from Tamil Nadu. Among the top research institutes, 9 are from Tamil Nadu. And among the top 40 dental colleges, 9 are from Tamil Nadu. Overall, the IIT Madras has secured the first position as the best university in India, and Anna University has been ranked as the best state university. Similarly, out of the top 926 educational institutions in India, 165 is located in Tamil Nadu. All these are due to the Dravidian regime. Here are the few schemes which has been implemented by the Dravidian model government. The Pudumai Pen scheme, which provides 100 rupees to the female students from government schools who are pursuing the higher education. This scheme brought in an increased number of female students into the higher education by 27%. And the 7.5 reservation for professional courses, as soon as the DMK government assumed office, was extended to professional courses such as engineering, agricultural, veterinary science, fisheries, and law. In addition to the 7.5 reservation, an order was issued stating that the government would bear the tuition fees, hostel fees, counseling, transportation costs for students who benefit under this reservation, and also immediately allocated funds for it. The next scheme, the Tamil Pudalvan scheme, around 380,000 students were benefited from this scheme. The Ennum Ezhuthum scheme, the Vanavil Mandram, the Namma Palli Namma Ooru scheme, and College Kanavu are the schemes implemented for education under the Dravidian model government. Recently, last 3 days before, we also had a major scheme which was implemented for the Chief Minister's, by the Chief Minister in the name of Chief Minister's Research Grant Scheme, which helped the post-graduation and the undergraduation to get grant for doing their research system. I would like to conclude my speech by saying, as Barack Obama once said, quality education is one of the most important investments we can make in our future, and Tamil Nadu chose this to make it as the investment through the state and not through the market. As Malala Yousafzai said, one child, one teacher, one pen, and one book can change the world. Tamil Nadu added some crucial to the vision, like food, transport, dignity, opportunity. This is the difference between symbolism and transformation. There are 3 dimensions for the Dravidian model government: the social justice, the state autonomy, and the welfare economics. Thandai Periyar brought the self-respect movement. Peraringer Anna empowered these principles and turned them into democratic weapons. Dr. Kalaignar, who was a pioneer and the champion of the social justice and state autonomy and welfare economics. Today, our Honorable Chief Minister, Thalapathy M.K. Stalin, has brought all this under the umbrella of the Dravidian model government. And I think today the sun rises in the south, though it is not natural, but still with the education we all rose together. I would call it Tamil Nadu is India and India is Tamil Nadu. Thank you.
Ma'am, I ask that you please remain on stage with us. We would like to take the opportunity to present our next set of awards. And coming from you, it'll be all the more special. So that said, a huge round of applause once again for our guest of honor, for those insightful comments and inspiring words as to what lies ahead with respect to Tamil Nadu's education landscape. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll now move on to our next set of awards. And as I mentioned, they'll be presented by Dr. Somu, our guest of honor. And we've got many exciting categories next. So with that, this of course continues to recognize benchmarks in education, trailblazers, and people that are essentially transforming the education landscape as we know it. So we'll start with our next category, which is Promising Preschool of the Year. This is a particularly pivotal one because holistic learning starts early. And in this category, Promising Preschool of the Year, the winner is Madras Global School, Anna Nagar. Can we please have the team on stage to receive the award? Here at the TimesNow.in Education Summit from our guest of honor herself. Congratulations once again. Promising Preschool of the Year, Madras Global School, Anna Nagar. Lovely. And with that, we move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon, and that is Competency-Driven Teaching and Learning Excellence. And in this category, Competency-Driven Teaching and Learning Excellence, the award goes to Ratinam Technical Campus, Coimbatore. Let's have the team on stage, please, to receive the coveted honor. Congratulations once again from the entire team. All the more special to be recognized amongst industry peers and colleagues. With that, we move on to our next category, which is Excellence in Holistic Development. And the winner in this category, Excellence in Holistic Development, is Anai Violet Arts and Science College, Chennai. Let's have the team on stage, please, recognizing them for their excellence in holistic development. Congratulations once again on this very special honor. That too from the Honorable Member of Rajya Sabha, Tamil Nadu herself. Congratulations. And with that, we move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, here at the TimesNow.in Education Summit, South Edition. And the category is Innovation in Teaching and Learning Methodology. And in this category, the winner is Everwin Vidyashram, Surapet. Let's have the team on stage, please. Setting new benchmarks in innovation and teaching and learning methodology. Congratulations again to the entire team. All right, we'll move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, which is Excellence in Academic Performance. And our winner in this category, Excellence in Academic Performance, is Kola Perumal Chetty Vaishnav Senior Secondary School, Chennai. Let's have the team on stage, please, to receive the highly coveted honor from Dr. Somu, our guest of honor. That's right, Excellence in Academic Performance, Kola Perumal Chetty Vaishnav Senior Secondary School, Chennai. And with that, we move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, which is Top Ranked Emerging Schools, CBSE Curriculum, South Zone. And the winner is Perry School, Chennai. Let's have the team on stage, please, to receive the recognition, the honor. Congratulations. And we, of course, heard from Sir a short while ago on the panel that I had the pleasure of moderating. All right, with that, we move on to our next category, which is Premier Standalone Preschools, North Zone. And in this category, the winner is Touch Sky, the International Preschool, Vinayagapuram. Vinayagapuram, let's have the team on stage, please. Premier Standalone Preschools, North Zone. Touch Sky, the International Preschool, Vinayagapuram. That's the members of Next Gen India on stage to receive the honor. All the more appropriate, all the more apt. What a special moment. That's a moment to cherish. And with that, we move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen. And our next category is Premier Standalone Preschools, East Zone. In the category Premier Standalone Preschools, East Zone, the winner is Sadhana International Preschool, Tiruvarkadu. Let's have the team on stage, please, from Sadhana International to receive the honor from our Honorable Member of Rajya Sabha, Tamil Nadu, and our guest of honor. Congratulations once again. And with that, we move on to our next category, which is Top Preschool with School Integrations North Zone. And in this category, Top Preschool with School Integrations North Zone, the winner is Everwin Global Kids, Kolatur. Let's have the team on stage, please. Congratulations once again. For setting new benchmarks here at the Times Now Education Summit, South Edition 2026. Love the support. With that, we'll move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, which is Excellence in Digitally Enabled Industry Integrated Education. And in this category, Excellence in Digitally Enabled Industry Integrated Education, our winner is, ladies and gentlemen, Ratinam College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Let's have the team on stage, please. Some repeat winners here amongst us this afternoon. Congratulations once again. Excellence in Digitally Enabled Industry Integrated Education. All right. And with that, we'll move on to our next category, which is Excellence in Educational Innovation Southeast Zone. In this category, Excellence in Educational Innovation Southeast Zone, our winner is, ladies and gentlemen, Hindustan International School, Kannappan. Let's have the team on stage, please. Hindustan International School has also been a repeat winner this afternoon, and this is just one more feather in their cap. All right, with that we move on to our next category, which is Top Ranked School in Life Skills Development, East Zone. And the winner in this category, Top Ranked School in Life Skills Development, East Zone, is Everwin Public School, Madura Voyal. Congratulations once again to the Everwin Public School team. Top Ranked School in Life Skills Development, East Zone. And with that, we'll move on to Top Ranked School in Life Skills Development, however, for the South Zone. And the winner in this category, Top Ranked School in Life Skills Development South Zone, is SAN Academy, Bellacheri. Let's have the team on stage. Congratulations once again. We invite you on stage to receive the honor from our guest of honor herself. Please proceed. All right. And now we move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, which is Top Ranked School in Life Skills Development North Zone. And the winner in this category, Top Ranked School in Life Skills Development North Zone, is Top Ranked School in Life Skills Development North Zone, Everwin Vidyashram Senior Secondary School, Mathur. Congratulations once again to the entire Everwin team. All right, with that, we'll move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, which is Most Promising School Brand of the Year 2025-26. This is an exciting one. Most Promising School Brand of the Year 2025-26 goes to I2 Global School, Chennai. Let's have the team on stage, please, to receive the coveted honor. All right. Congratulations once again to I2 Global School. All right, with that, we move on to our next category, which is Top Preschool with School Integrations Northwest Zone. And in this category, Top Preschool with School Integrations Northwest Zone, our winner is Woodstock Montessori, Madhavaram. Let's have the team on stage, please, to receive the honor. Top Preschool with School Integrations Northwest Zone. Congratulations, ladies, once again. All right. A huge round of applause for all of our winners so far. Many more to come. But with that, you've been so gracious in your decision to be here and support us at the Times Now Education Summit 2026 South Edition. And if I could please ask Kalpana, my colleague and editor with Times Now to present you with a token of our appreciation, our way of saying thank you from the Times Network digital team. All right. Ma'am, such an honor, truly a pleasure. We're very humbled. Keep the applause coming, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Member of Rajya Sabha, Tamil Nadu, Dr. Kanimozhi and VM Somu. Thank you once again, ladies, and thank you to our guest of honor. Thank you, Kalpana. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, now we bring you a very special message from Shri Anbil Mahesh. Poyyamozhi was the Honorable Minister for School Education, Government of Tamil Nadu. He couldn't be here himself due to a prior commitment, but he had this very special message to share. So if I could turn your attention to the screen, let's have a look.
Distinguished guests, experts from the field of education, and participants of the Times Now Education Summit, South Edition 2026. It is an absolute pleasure to address you all today. While unavoidable circumstances prevent me from joining you in person, I felt it was essential to share my thoughts through this video message. My heartiest congratulations to the organizers and a warm welcome to everyone gathered here. The people of Tamil Nadu stand firmly by the conviction of our Honorable Chief Minister, who once noted, if there are 100 people who have succeeded without education, there are surely millions who have triumphed because of it. In Tamil Nadu, the belief that individual progress is possible only through education is deeply rooted in our social fabric. Reflecting this sentiment, our Redefining model government continues to implement transformative schemes. Our educational growth is not just a modern achievement, it is built on a long, inclusive tradition. Today, we are upgrading the legacy to meet modern demands and future challenges. From the grassroots to the digital frontier, our initiatives are diverse. We provide fundamental support through the Chief Minister's Breakfast Scheme, Illam Thedi Kalvi, and Ennum Eduthum. We are modernizing infrastructure by equipping schools with smart boards, high-tech labs, and STEM labs, while empowering our teachers with the tablets and the Manakeni app. For students with disabilities, the Nalam Nadi app ensures a seamless learning environment. Beyond the classroom, we nurture well-rounded citizens through art festivals, reading movements, and science clubs. To bridge the gap to higher education, schemes like Pudumai Pen, Tamil Pudalvan, and Kalluri Kanavu stand as pioneering models unmatched by any other state. We do not just launch schemes, we audit them. We monitor their impact at the state, district, block, and school levels, studying how they touch the lives of individual students. To bridge gaps in learning outcomes, we have launched Thiran, which means targeted help for improving remediation and academic nurturing. Furthermore, we are preparing our students for the future through TN Spark, which means Tamil Nadu School Program for Artificial Intelligence, Robotics, and Knowledge of Online Tools. I believe our Additional Chief Secretary for School Education, Mr. Chandramohan IAS, has already shared the intricate details of this vision with you. Our government model schools initiatives remains a cornerstone of our policy. With an investment of 352.42 crore rupees, we have established model schools across 38 districts. The Honorable Chief Minister recently inaugurated world-class school and hostel campuses in 5 districts. Consequently, the number of our government school students entering the world's premier higher education institution has increased manifold. Building on this success, we have expanded with the Vetripalli scheme in the every union and established 28 schools of excellence across the state. As a guiding light for the next generation, we have released the Tamil Nadu State Education Policy. Data proves that our two-language policy is a primary reason for the heights Tamil Nadu has reached. Our state policy is designed specifically to ensure this path of growth remains uninterrupted. Recently, our Honorable Deputy Chief Minister remarked, education means Tamil Nadu and Tamil Nadu means education. I believe this summit by Times Now is a powerful testament to that statement. I am eager to hear the insights and suggestions from the many luminaries attending this summit. My heartiest congratulations to the schools receiving awards today. Let us continue to work together to make education the greatest equalizer. Thank you.
What inspiring words. Education means Tamil Nadu and Tamil Nadu means education. So building on some of the minister's comments, up next we have an exciting session on igniting Tamil Nadu classrooms, AI future with TN Spark, as you just mentioned. So as technology reshapes education, artificial intelligence is opening new avenues for everything from personalized learning to data-driven teaching and, of course, innovation within the classroom. So this next session will explore how AI can be integrated more effectively into schools across Tamil Nadu to empower both educators and students, creating future-ready learners. So to do justice to that very topic, if I could please invite our distinguished guest for this session, Dr. S. Kannappan, Director of School Education, Directorate of School Education, Government of Tamil Nadu, to kindly please join us on the podium and address our gathering. A huge round of applause, please.
Good afternoon. For conducting the Times Now for Education Summit on Chennai, with inviting many schools and colleges. So I prepared many things, but MP ma'am and our Honorable Education Minister has explained in detail what are the pathway in the last 5 years. Our Honorable Chief Minister has given so many ideas and progressive work in education department. So after the corona, the Illam Thedi Kalvi is a very eminent program to conduct the training section in their homes to bring the children back to the school. And similarly, the fundamental numeracy and literacy, FLN, is a main focus for the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan to improve the LSRW activity in the primary section. So ma'am has mentioned here Tamil Pudalvan scheme to enroll the children in colleges and others to achieve the higher educations. So I want to mention here, apart from the general, ma'am has mentioned 53%. If you are taking the government school, Our government school alone, children are, after the +2, they are entering to the colleges and higher education. Current year, we have achieved 92.3%. In Trichy, it's 98.5%, like that. So all the children has to be enrolled in higher education because of the Tamil Pudalvan and the Magalir Pudumaipan scheme. They are giving their support and honorarium to the children to continue their and pursue their studies with the help. So and apart from this, our government school, we have the government school have many challenges. If are taking the Evergreen school or global school, they have the Paka infrastructure and everything is made within one correspondent. But we have the Chief Minister is the major correspondent. Our Honorable Education Minister is the really to watch each and every school. Because he has visited 234 Assembly Constitution and one of the school and one of the library. So he knows the nook and corner of the government schools and aided school, how they are functioning and what is their need, like that. Apart from, based on this, the minister has driven force to the assembly to sanction 5,000 crore for the infrastructure development in the government schools. So that is a major, because சுவர் இருந்தால் தான் சித்திரம் வரைய முடியும்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அந்த மாதிரி basic infrastructure is the modernized period. It's required, the parents are expecting to give, like this, they are providing the infrastructure facilities. So now the topic is actually the igniting the Tamil Nadu classrooms at the future with the TN Spark. Before going to this, what are the major initiative steps as taken by the department? We already have these 6,029 high-tech lab in the government higher secondary schools. But we required for the basic digital classroom for the primary classes and other things. We are established within 5 years nearly 22,931 primary school. We established the smart classroom with the internet facilities. And similarly, already the high-tech lab is supported for the +1 and +2 students. So we need the high-tech lab has to be started from the 6th standard onwards. So some government has kind enough to sanction 8,000 middle school and the minimum number of high school was established in the high-tech lab. That it consists of the 10 computers with one smart board with internet facilities. So now the infra has to be given to all the school. This is enough? No. So these are the material. The teacher should be interact in the classroom is effectively. The teacher need the trainings. The SCRT has well-planned training has given to how to use the technical tools. That is computers and smart classroom, everything. And also, for the, especially the Honorable Minister has mentioned the Manarkani app. The Manarkani app, we have the nearly 900 videos for the +1 and +2 subject, especially for the physics, chemistry, biology, because we are concentrating for the students to be moved to engineering and NEET examination participation, like that. So that app is very important. And also we are concentrated for the IED children. That is the Minister has mentioned that the Nalamnadi app. So we taken care of the 1,20,000 children as in our schooling system for the IED children. So we are in our Sarvasiksha Abhiyan, we are nearly more than 1,000 teachers are working for this purpose only. So these are the basic things. So now we are moving to the AI. Now the curriculum has prepared based on the state education policy. The SCRT already started. Our ISRO chairman is our curriculum chairman. And in the subgroup, the Sultan Ismail, one of the scientists, great scientists, is the chairperson of the curriculum. Now the curriculum was revised now within 2 years. So it is majorly we concentrated 3 different ways. One for the primary section, that is a basic principle is a LSRW, listening, speaking, reading and writing, how to improve this in the primary level. Because once the concept has to be improved in the primary level, then 6th standard onwards, they have to understand the concept, higher order thinking, lower order thinking, middle order thinking, whatever we thought, that has to be emulated from this. So likewise, in +1, +2, we majorly concentration for the how to move forward the higher education system. Already our +1, +2 syllabus is more than the NCERT syllabus. Most of the teachers want to reduce the syllabus and reduce the content also. But we form a group of teachers and college professors how to modify this. So this has to be happening in futures. So based on that, we are introducing the TN Spark. That is, as Sir has mentioned, the Tamil Nadu Schools program for AI, robotics and knowledge of online tools. So for this purpose only, we are establishing the 22,931 smart classroom, 8,000 high-tech lab in middle school, especially in the rural middle school. Apart from, we are continuously replace the already existing high-tech lab in the higher secondary school also. So these are the major provisions fund is allocated by the government of Tamil Nadu in the to implement in features. So in the first phase, we are implemented 3,000 government school focus on building foundational digital literacy and problem solving skills through an age appropriate curriculum that include block-based coding, Python programming and basic concept of artificial intelligence. So this initiative effectively leveraged existing the high-tech lab in the schools for the implementation. So that is our ideas. But apart from these ideas, we also giving the books, because the material only not giving the ideas. So we train the teachers, especially in the group of Microsoft company and micro learning links. So many computer companies are supported to the SCRT. They are forming the resource person. They are giving the training to teachers, TOT. Then TOT has given further to the block level, school level. So such a way, the training program was organized and to improve the classroom activity for the TN Spark. So these are the basic ideas to giving the teachers and how to conduct the classroom like that. So these are the major challenges to address the system in the school education for improving or conducting the AI. Because AI is modified versions. So nowadays after the AI, there are another 2 versions has came up. But now only we are introducing the artificial intelligence in the schooling system, both whether it is a government or based on the other schools also. So here some of the point has to be important. Tool usage to the thinking skill. Because whatever the student or teachers has mentioned in the AI, they give the immediate, just like a spoon feeding. But it is not only to improve the real knowledge. So it is, we are making as a tool and also we giving the ideas to the, how to think the children in the classroom. So likewise, we are integrating the core subject, not only for the main, the artificial is not a separate subject, what our government has planned. We are not introducing the artificial as a 7th subject or 5th subject like that. But what government has planned, it is the integral part of the mathematics and science. So then only the children are able to easily cover the, whatever the concept is applicable to the application of mind. Then only the thinking skill and also the learning outcome has to be the good performance. And also we are not shifting from rote learning to the applied learning. So already the activity based learning as a primary concept for the primary children. So here also artificial intelligence, if you are applying the classroom activity, not only for the removing the rote learning, and also we have to give the applied learning and experiential learning, applications of mind, everything. So building adaptability to the unknown future jobs. So not only for the job oriented, it also giving the capacity to remain the relevant even as a technological evolve. So, and also we are concentration for the foundation for career pathways. So, TN Spark acts as a pipeline initiative preparing the students for advanced programs such as higher secondary vocational STEAM, engineering, data science, robotics, and emerging technology careers. Even for the non-technical careers, the analytical and digital skill gained enhanced employability. So, these are the major ideas for the government system to introduce the artificial intelligence in our primary or rural government schools. These are the major ideas. So based on this only, our SART has framing the curriculum and framing the syllabus. Based on the syllabus, we have to drop the textbook. So these are the major idea how to improve the feature in artificial intelligence in all the government school. If once up to +2 level, they are knowing the basic things, then whatever the industrial or whatever the BE or graduates, it will be easy to learn many things in future. So, and also we are, another topic has to be future ready. So, we are preparing the children for future. So, that will be the major, another ideas in the school education. So, respected Honorable CM and respected Education Minister, and also our most respected our Education Secretary. So giving the many guidelines to improve the government school system in the giving qualitative emerging situation education, we are trying to do the lot of things in the education department. So our Madras Education Department is the very oldest department because they started from the British period up to this. We are so many modifications and so many improvements are there. In this, we have the 55,000 school, 5.5 lakh children, 1.21 crore, 5.5 lakh teachers and 1.21 lakh children are enrolling in our schooling system. The entire future is depending upon the education system how to work. That's why the Honorable Minister, CM and the Education Minister giving the every year is a 46,000 crore budget for the education department in the throughout the country. I think our education budget is the highest budget. So because to improve the education learning outcomes and also giving the quality education to the Tamil Nadu children. Last point I have to mention, the Honorable Minister has mentioned for the model school and also a government school system. Last 3 years we are giving the so many training to the higher secondary children to giving the good education in IIT, NIT and also the foreign abroad countries. So current year we achieved more 1,300 students are getting the admissions in higher education like IIT and NITs. So with this, in future, AA has to be very key role in our government school system also. The same syllabus has to be followed in all schools. It will be a supporting of the mutual things. Ultimately, it is giving the future of the children. So likewise, I once again appreciate the times now and also participating in so many colleges and other dignitaries. So giving this opportunity, I thank for our secretary for school education because today he is attended the Delhi program. So on behalf of Secretary Sir, I have to mention some of the points here. So thank you for once again.
Thank you so much, Doctor. We ask that you please remain on stage with us for a few moments longer as we'd like to present our next set of awards. And especially coming from you, I think they'll hold all the more relevance and be all the more special. So we'll continue with our last and final set of categories for the afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Times Now in Academic Excellence Summit 2026 South Edition. All right. Our next category, without further ado, is School with Most Impactful Learning Models. And the winner is Anai Violet International School, Ambattur. Let's have the team on stage, please, to receive the honor. Excellent. From the Director of School Education himself, Dr. S. Kannappan. Anna Violet International School, Ambattur. Let's move closer to center stage, please. Excellent. With that, we move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, which is excellence in child overall development. And the winner in this category, excellence in child overall development, is Everwin Vidyashram, Janakipuram. Let's have the team on stage, please. Development starts early, so this is a particularly pivotal award. And with that, we move on to our next category, which is Outstanding Preschool for Foundational Learning. And the winner in this category, Outstanding Preschool for Foundational Learning, is Rise and Shine, the International Preschool, Ambattur. Let's have the team on stage, please. Congratulations once again. Congratulations to the entire team. Rise and Shine, the International Preschool, Ambattur. And with that, we move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, which is Excellence in Futuristic Education. And the winner is Anant International Schools, Akarai. Let's have the team on stage, please. Excellence in Futuristic Education, Anant International Schools, Akarai. And with that, we move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, which is Excellent Experiential Learning School. And the winner in this category, Excellent Experiential Learning School, is all right. The winner in this category, Excellent Experiential Learning School, is Golden Bee Global School, Bangalore. Can we have the team on stage, please? Excellent. And with that, we move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen, which is Premier Standalone Preschools, West Zone. And the winner in this category, Premier Standalone Preschools, West Zone, is Premier Standalone Preschools, West Zone. The winner is Star Kids Preschool, Maduravoil. Let's have the team on stage, please. We now move on to our next category, which is Top Ranked Emerging Schools, CBSE Curriculum, West Zone. And the winner is Everwin Vidyasharam, Parutipattu. Let's have the team on stage, please. And we now move on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen. At the Education Excellence Summit. And this next category is Excellent Practices in Preschool Education. And in this category, Excellent Practices in Preschool Education, the winner is Touch Sky, the International Preschool, Vinayagapuram. Let's have the team on stage, please, to receive the honor. Touch Sky, the International Preschool, walks away as the winner in this category, Excellent Practices in Preschool Education. Look at those little ones take the stage. You guys are the future. Congratulations once again, Touch Sky, the International Preschool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that we move on to our next category, which is Excellence in Co-Curricular and Enrichment Programs. And the winner in this category, ladies and gentlemen, Excellence in Co-Curricular and Enrichment Programs is... Excellence in Co-Curricular and Enrichment Programs. As I mentioned a moment ago, the winner is Shishya School, Chennai. Let's have the team on stage, please. Congratulations, sir. And we now move on to our next category, which is Excellence in Value-Based Education. And the winner in this category, Excellence in Value-Based Education, is B.V. Bhavan's Rajaji Vidyashram, Chennai. Let's have the team on stage, please, to receive the honor. Wow, wonderful. All right, and our last award of the afternoon, Excellence in Educational Innovation East Zone. And the winner in this category is Velamal Vidyalaya Anakbakam. Let's have the team on stage, please. Velamal Vidyalaya Ayanambakam, Excellence in Educational Innovation East Zone. And Dr. Kannappan, thank you so much for being here. I would like to have my colleague, Kalpana Sharma, please offer you a token of our appreciation, present you with a memento, our way of saying thank you for being here at the TimesNow.in Education Summit 2026 South Edition. Keep the applause coming, ladies and gentlemen. For the Directorate of School Education, Government of Tamil Nadu, Director of School Education. Thank you so much, Dr. Kannappan. And Kalpana, I ask that you remain on stage. Thank you so much, Doctor. All right, so now we move on to a very special segment where we acknowledge and felicitate essentially the partners who've made the TimesNow.in Education Summit 2026 South Edition possible. And Kalpana Sharma, who's the editor with TimesNow.in, will do the honors in felicitating each of you one by one. I think it's very important that we do so, because without your support, events like this simply aren't possible. So, may I please invite representatives from our presenting partner, SDNV Vaishnav. Let's please have the team on stage, SNDB Vaishnav College, to please come forward. All right. Let's felicitate our presenting partner. There you are. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. SNDB Vaishnav College, our presenting partner here at the TimesNow.in Education Summit 2026. Thank you so much to the entire SDNV Vaishnav College team for your continued leadership and contribution to academic excellence. Next, we'd like to felicitate our knowledge partner. So if I could please request representatives from SRM University, Vadapalani, to please kindly join us on stage. Thank you to the entire team for supporting meaningful dialogue and knowledge-driven collaboration. Thank you so much. SRM University, Vadapalani. Moving on to our supporting partner. So if I could please invite representatives from ONGC Kobri Asset, Kadaikanam, to please come forward. And we'd like to, of course, thank them for the commitment towards strengthening education and community development. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, and thank you, Kalpana. Thank you, Kalpana. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we now come to the close of the TimesNow.in Education Summit 2026 South Edition, I'd like to thank all of you for being a part of today's meaningful dialogue. From thought-provoking discussions and inspiring addresses to the celebration of academic excellence, really, today's summit truly reflected strength, innovation, and a collaborative spirit of South India's education ecosystem. So on behalf of TimesNow.in, I extend our sincere gratitude to our distinguished speakers, to our panelists, to our partners, and to our guests for sharing their time. And I'd especially like to thank this team behind the scenes that you don't always see. That's a part of the larger digital network within the Times Network umbrella. And so that, of course, includes Jyoti Gupta, Anuya Yadav, Krishna Arora, Sumit Yadav, Sameer. Huge round of applause, please. It's your hard work, your lack of sleep, your commitment to the cause that makes it all possible. And we very much acknowledge that. So with that, we salute everyone in this room for their contributions to shaping the future of education. We ask that you please do join us for lunch and have a lovely afternoon ahead, Chennai. Nandri. Thank you so much.